Okay. All right. We should be live. Let me hit post on all these quick things so then everybody knows. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Oh man. Okay. Audio is working on the live stream. There we go. Always like to check the audio. Hey, what's up? Thank you, Naruto Lava. Oreos, I'm so happy I got the promo card. I mean, I worked in baseball for like 10 years prior to becoming a full-time content creator. So I was pretty excited about the game in general because I've never been to Dodger Stadium. But getting the promo card was like cherry on top, basically. Okay. For all of the VOD watchers, right? For those of you that are watching the VOD after the fact or anything like that, I will be uploading these matches round by round like I usually do as separate videos if you want to watch that. Also, the VOD is publicly available as well if you want to watch that whole thing. I'll have it recording, so then if my internet cuts out for any reason, even though in this VOD, it would kind of cut off or something like that. When I re-upload the match, then it would fully go out as a full match for you guys. So, hey, I hope everybody's doing well. Chat, thank you so much for joining me on this. I know that YouTube is live right now. Is Twitch live? Yeah, Twitch is live. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Are you going to find the One Piece? I hope so. I hope so, Ephraim. How you doing? Is the card textured or just foiled? Aaron, it's just foiled, but that's fine with me. I'm not too mad about that. Yo, what up, Sone? Chaos? The drive back was good. It was long. It was a long drive. I mean, it wasn't that long. It was only like 4 or 5 hours. So, not too bad, not too bad. Yo, Dice Alchemist, thank you so much for tuning in. Dice Alchemist, what deck do you think is going to win? Oh, for also everyone that's watching right now, this is a huge tournament. This is the Fukuoka Championships that we're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, all you have to do is click the link in the description below if you want to watch the actual tournament and not hear me talk. And on Twitch, if you're watching, it's in the pinned message in the chat. But this is the first tournament where starter decks 23 through 28 is legal, right? So the Bonnie, Teach, Shanks, Yamato, Purple Black, Luffy, and Buggy starter decks are officially legal in Japan starting this tournament. So it's going to be really, really cool. This is going to be the OP12 format with those legal, and it's also going to be our Dallas Last Chance Qualifier and Nationals format out here in the West. So it's going to be really good insight, right? Really good starting point as well to what could be super popular, what could be really, really good, right? I've seen a couple people know, Morticia, you cannot stop the stream by pushing buttons on the keyboard. My cat has just officially tried to end the stream. What was I going to say? Good morning. How are you, Sokaki? Hopefully I said that right. You're starting to be a Teach main. Ooh, I hope we see some Teach today, especially with the new starter decks. In Las Vegas at the regional, I had a buddy who got top 32 with Teach in this OP11 starter deck format in the West. And I know he was like he was playing the 7-cost Teach, he was playing the 6-cost Kuzan. He was playing some really cool cards, honestly, in that deck. So I kind of hope we see like a Teach game today to see if they have like kind of the same idea and stuff like that. But I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for coming in, chat. I'm a little, hopefully I'm not too low energy. I just drove back to home after going to the LA Dodgers game. That's why I have this hat on, right? Ooh, stream is starting. Perfect. All right. I'm going to turn it down on my end a little bit. Not necessarily your guys' end, just my end. Yo, Hamburg Z, 3 a.m. Gonna be a long game. Excited for this. I know. I was honestly like kind of happy when I moved to the West Coast and I could start watching these like at a more reasonable hour, right? Rayleigh is a super fun deck, Zone Chaos. Yo, Obi-Wan, you were at the game too? Oh, nice. Congratulations. I didn't get any copies other than my one that they gave out. I was going to try to buy some extra copies of the green purple Luffy for my friends out here in Vegas, because I had a lot of friends that were like, oh man, I can't go, you know, if you happen to get any, like, can you try to get me one? And so I tried, but we watched someone actually right after we came in, we watched someone get kicked out of the stadium for trying to buy off someone. So I know there were some plenty of people that got a ton of theirs, but once we saw like someone get kicked out for trying to buy extra Luffys off people, I was like, you know, I don't think it's my time, you know. Ooh, Lucci. Yeah, I think Lucci's been really interesting, especially because it won the other championship, right? Still alive and well, that deck. You woke up from a nap? Nice. I thought about taking a nap before the stream, but I did not. I did not, unfortunately. Yo, what up, Fumbles? How you doing? Watermelon Stan, what's good? Praying for the Emu Leader Showcase. I kind of hope there's one too, and I don't even know who Emu is. I just know that, so like this new Emu plush came out in Japan, and I'm not caught up on One Piece, so I don't know who Emu is. But I see people posting like this Emu plush, like with its seatbelt on in the car, like with a little umbrella or a cooking apron or something, like these goofy scenes with this Emu plush, and it makes me laugh every time. What do I think of the scalpers? I don't know. I hope they... It's so hard, Aaron, because like... It's so hard because like if I go up to a 65-year-old person and I'm like, hey, can I buy your card for $20, right? And my plan is to flip it. It's like that person doesn't want it, right? It's not like you're stealing it from them. And it's not like also that they took it away from somebody who did want it, right? The worker just gave this person the Luffy. Like, what is this 65-year-old person who does not know anything about One Piece? What are they going to do with the card? So, like, I don't really care. But if you're someone who, like, reached into the box, right, that they housed all those Luffys, and you grabbed, like, 10 of them while the employee wasn't looking, you're a scumbag. You know? It's a weird conversation. I'm praying for Cavendish, Bon Clay. I'm praying for Tony Choppers in EBO1 because I don't have a playset of that yet. And Sheer Hoshi's. I know the Emu plush is so big. It's so funny. Yeah, the new red-green Luffy leader is really cool. Chat, let's go over the red-green Luffy leader for anyone who does not know. I don't know if you guys can see... I don't think you guys can see this yet. Hold on. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay. So, Chad, if you do not know, in our Discord server, link in the description below, or if you're watching on Twitch, !Discord, we do have a channel that automatically posts translations for cards that get revealed, right, in various places, like the stream or the magazines and stuff like that. And so a couple cards got revealed this morning. I'm going to go over the Luffy right here. So Luffy, new red-green Luffy leader, right, 4 life, 5,000 power. It's Supernova and Straw Hat. So green Supernova, automatically not a bad leader in my opinion. Has one effect of Dawn ×1 on opponent's attack. If your total active Dawn is 5 or less, you may rest any number of those Dawn. For each Dawn rested this way, Give this leader or up to one of your Straw Hat crew type characters plus 2,000 power for this battle, right? So I think the whole idea of like this leader is to play out these bodies on field and then just like keep them alive with this Dawn, right? You may run like some counter events in there, but you're probably just like putting down characters and then like leaving up Dawn. Obviously, Cavendish from EBO1 is probably really good in this deck, right? Just simply because it can restand Dawn. I bet the 8-cost Dracul Mihawk is also pretty good, right? You can slam down an 8-cost Dracul Mihawk, get 4 Dawn up, right, to be able to use off these effects, even though they're not Straw Hat Crew types. So I think that's like really interesting. It's a cool little thing that we can start thinking about for OP13. I like Lucci too, Michael. I'm going to be honest. 10k counter every turn is crazy. What's the bot called? The bot is called... well, it's not really a bot. It's in Discord. Anytime, like the One Piece trading card game community, they have a channel that automatically updates. And so every time they update in that channel, I have a system to where it automatically gets posted into my channel, right? That's like, I don't exactly remember what it's called. I set it up a long time ago. It's not necessarily a bot. It's just that I'm copying their Discord channel in a sense. No, Naruto Lava. So it's 5 or less active Dawn on your field is when you get to use it. So if you're on like an 8 Dawn turn, like I mentioned, and you play that 8-cost Dracul Mihawk in OP12, right, you restand 4 Dawn. If you pass, you can use that active Dawn to get plus 2,000 in battles because you have 5 or less active Dawn. Yeah, like technically you can't do it until your 6th Dawn turn, as David Sock's saying. Also, by the way, David Gav, what's going on? I used to play Zoro in 11-12 pre-starter deck in Japan. Got top 8 at Flagship. How's the deck doing with the new starter deck? Well, see, here's the thing, Dice Alchemist, and I'll continue saying this. I will be a broken record. If you just have a losing matchup to Buggy as Zoro, I think you're still fine. I think that Buggy, although is a meta-relevant deck and a viable deck for sure, I don't think it takes up enough of the meta share for you to hate enough that it's a losing matchup that you have to switch decks, right? This is going to be a really good indicator on how good Buggy is in OP12, though. Yes, it's following. Thank you, Avage. Yes, yes. Also, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Yes, I follow the channel in my server. Yes. Exactly. It's actually a really neat function, and I'm very happy about it. I'm really curious about the announcement as well in PRB. Well, Love Oreos, not to be too crazy, but we did see also Dice Alchemist. Thank you for following. We did see in the last championship at the very end, it got cut off on my VOD because my internet like stopped and my stream disconnected. But at the very end of the stream, they did say that there was going to be an update to the Japan ban list. We just don't know exactly when it's going to be announced. We don't know what is. But anyways, chat, the tournament has started. Fukuoka OP12. The starter decks are officially legal. in the One Piece trading card game. I'm so excited for this tournament. Starter deck 23 through 28. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Great enhancements coming into the game for decks like Buggy, Marshall D. Teach, right? Green, Yellow, Law even, and so many more, right? Purple, Black, Luffy. You've even got Yamato getting boosts as well with these starter deck cards. Going to be a really interesting tournament, and I hope a really cool top 16 breakdown. Yo, Monkey D. Angel, thank you so much for the happy affiliate anniversary. Lim's a super easy deck to alt and super cheap, Kizuke, so I think it's a fine time to alt out Lim. It's not the best deck in the format, and it's not like overly meta relevant, but it is so cheap to build, especially alt. Yeah, if you like Lim, then alt it out and play Lim. I have Nami alted, mono blue Nami alted all the time, even though I'm not really playing it right now. Just because I love it all. I love it so much. I like this new guy here. I like these new guys. They've done pretty good. And there's Gavin. Yo, Sokai, thank you so much for the channel membership there. Welcome to the Riffle Shuffler crew. Appreciate the support and helping keep the lights on over in the stream today. She's still good and she's still viable, but Lim is definitely not in the same position as it was a while ago. Like in OP10 when it first came out and like Fletch won the championship. I have to scroll down on my Twitter to try to find this hashtag right here. So then I can get a copy paste of the hashtag. There it is. I found it. Because here in a sec, they're going to post the top 8. Or top 16. Top 16 of Fukuoka CS. Sorry, chat. I'm just prepping. I'm prepping. Ooh, alting Kobe. Nice. Miss Sale, I don't know why you're awake. I hope you're having a great night, or great morning, potentially, wherever you are in the world. But I'm glad you're here. Yo, Daddy Dorcas, what's going on? My dad works at Bandai. He says they're reprinting Bon Clay and PRBO2. Gosh, I hope so. I hope so. Invoked, I don't know if you follow Yansuko over on Twitter, but he's been killing it lately on Shanks. So I don't know, maybe hit him up. Also, D Sock and Monkey D Angel, thank you so much for following over on Twitter. Also, yeah, chat, July 4th was my Twitch affiliate channel anniversary, which I had no idea, so apologies for not prepping that more in advance. You think Iceberg made top 8? I would go crazy if Iceberg made top 8, and if they did not show it in this, it'd be crazy. But they'll show top 16 first, so. Oh, it is Yansuko. So, Yansuko. That's his name. I just typed it in the chat for you. What kind of mic do I use? It is a Shure mic. S-H-U-R-E. It's a Shure XLR. And outside of that, I have no idea. But I love this mic. I would recommend it to anybody. Chat, this hat doesn't fit my head. Also, thank you so much to everyone who is here in the channel, whether you are in Twitch or YouTube. If you like the content, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow, all that jazz in a bag of chips. Tell your friends that we're streaming. because this is going to be a crazy tournament. There's already a ton of you in here right now, over 200 on YouTube, and a great amount of you on Twitch, right, especially for our channel. So I super appreciate the support, and we'll be getting the tournament started soon. Just watching the pre-show right now and talking to you guys. Okay, so this is the meta share here. So 22% of this tournament is blue purple Luffy. 14%. Second most populous deck is OP12 Zoro. 12.2%. The third most populous deck is green purple Luffy. You've got Teach at the fourth most popular deck at 6.3. So Teach really on the move up, and purple black Luffy. There's too many freaking Luffys. Purple black Luffy, fifth in the meta share, right? Most populous deck at 5.9%. Wait, go back to that. Wait, hold on. I'm going to talk more about this. We got Shanks right here at 4.7%. You have Buggy right here, Buggy at 4.5%, Bonnie at 3.3%, Lucci at 3.1%, and Red Green Smoker at 2.8%. And some of the more popular rogue decks, you could say Green Yellow Law, Enel, Mono Blue Nami, Rayleigh. This is Kuzan right here, and then Yamato on top of that. And this is the top right here. So honestly, not a lot of changes. Is this a Zoro-Sanji? Chat, there's a blue-green Zoro-Sanji right here in the top cut. Oh my god. What? We've got, oh gosh, go back to this. What the heck? This is 6 blue-purple Luffys in the top cut and 5 green Zoros. Not really a surprise to anybody. And then a bunch of one-ofs in here. You've got Silver's Rayleigh right at this spot. OP12.5 purple Luffy right here. You've got Marshall D Teach right here. Green Yellow Law right, which we saw had a good run a couple weeks ago. And then blue green Zoro-Sanji. They're definitely putting it in the top 16, chat. Okay, sorry, chat. I gotta do Twitter stuff. I gotta do Twitter. Chat, how excited are you for blue green Sanji? Let me know. Let's see. 6 Luffy, 5 OP12 Zoro, 1 Rayleigh. Oh my gosh, who do we have for this stream? It is blue-green Sanji right here. Oh my gosh, what does blue-green Sanji do, chat? That is the question. It is a Dawn ×1, right? Once per turn. Holy smokes, I can't believe we're watching this deck right now. I need to pull up a sample deck list. That's what I need to do at this point. Where is the sample deck list that I can find off of this? Because I have a general idea of what this deck does, but holy smokes, especially with the new starter decks, it's tough. When attacking once per turn, chat, you can return one of your characters with a cost of 2 or more into your hand, and then you set a character with 7,000 power or less as active, getting multiple attacks with it. Who's it going to face? Probably green purple Luffy or Zoro, I'd imagine, or blue purple Luffy and Zoro, I'd imagine. Zoro-Sanji, 1 green yellow Law. Sorry, chat, I'll be here in a second. 1 OP, 1 Luffy, and then 1 Teach. Okay, so he's going to be facing off against blue-purple Luffy. So blue-purple Luffy, kind of the big bad boogeyman of this format, right, chat? You'd imagine that this Zoro-Sanji faced a couple of these blue-purple Luffy's on its way to the top 16 tournament. It's going to be really exciting on this one. We'll see how this green Zoro-Sanji is built, right? Is it kind of built on speed, you know, especially with EBO2, right, having different additions in the Straw Hat Group green type package? Is it going to be able to utilize that? We also saw in like OP11, you know, utilize the SR Sanji, that 6 cost that you may have been mad that you pulled the alternate art of in your deck. It's going to be really curious. I'm so excited to see this, chat. I'm so excited to see this. No leaks yet as PRBO2, but they will show it here later. Yes, and it's partially slash leader as well, as Slendermancer is saying in the chat. So it's going to be interesting. There's a potential, right, for this green-blue Sanji to utilize stuff like the 1-cost Perona to search. Could maybe use like the Hiyori, different slash characters that we see. We see in this hand the couple 2Ks, the Dracul Mihawk right there from the starter deck that the Zoro-Sanji came in, as well as 2K Tashigi's. Also is playing a Hody Jones, one of the best green cards in the game, right? Do not get me wrong. And Arlong. Arlong is a really nice, interesting card that allows your opponent's leader not to attack. So it's going to be really interesting in this top 16 round right of the top cut. Gonna be insane. This deck is gonna. Hope you bought your Arlong full arts from PRB, because those are going to go up. The blue-purple Luffy right here is going to have a couple different cards. Has a Sanji and Katakuri combo in there, but for the early ramps, has the Zoro-Juro, right? Especially if he's on the odd curve, he's going to be able to double ramp in the next turn, swinging with that Zoro-Juro, and then playing down that Bon Clay. Exactly kind of what you're looking for in here in this matchup. Yeah, I think Arlong for the mono green Zoro tech is actually insane, right? Especially with 5 of the green OP12 Zoros in this top 16 cut, chat. The Arlong is really, really nice in that matchup specifically because Zoro then can't swing into a body and then restand swing into leader. Looks like Zoro-Sanji is going first, so is going to be on the odd curve in this match. I'm going to turn this down just a smidge. Turn that down just a smidge. Chat, I appreciate you hanging out with me in this tournament. I'm going to try my best on this deck. This is my first Zoro-Sanji cast, so we'll see how it goes. And starting it off, the Zoro-Sanji going first. Doesn't have a one-don play at this point, so just passing off the turn right. Sometimes they play Kaya, so there's some plays that they can do at that point. The blue-purple Luffy, as typical, going second, or in general on the first turn, will also pass. And now we go into the blue Zoro-Sanji. We see an OP03 Nami, I believe that card is. That Nami is a really good search card, right, to be able to find some Straw Hat stuff. But the Dracul Mihawk will go ahead, be played, and cheat out another slash-type character, playing down the Arlong. So not using the Arlong effect, right, that blue-purple Luffy is not rested, wouldn't really be worth anything. Just trying to cheat out characters on the field, right? A lot of what is hurtful to blue-purple Luffy is rush aggro styles, right? And so if you're able to cheat out those bodies, if you're able to swing so early, the green-purple Luffy can't get set up in time and can't get in lock. As pointed out in chat by Axie Low, this green Zoro-Sanji went 9-0 in the Swiss rounds, went perfect, is arguably, or is the #1 seed overall. So gotta imagine that he might be favorable heading into this match. But the blue-purple Luffy on the 4-dawn turn is going to go ahead and swing 7,000 power at the Arlong, just a 2K counter out of that. Did find the Bon Clay, so that's going to be really nice for him at this point, right? Just needs another kind of ramp card, which doesn't really have one right now outside of Thunder Bagua, so might try to bait out a Thunder Bagua counter. In the Zoro-Sanji's hand now at 5 Dawn, does have a Smoker, so this list playing a little bit of interesting stuff with the 5-drop Smoker that we saw in OP10. 7K Banish is nothing to scoff at, especially if you can restand because of your leader effect to be able to swing 7K Banish twice, right? That's going to feed a lot of cards out of hand. That's going to garner a lot of attention against a lot of your opponents. So definitely really like that card right now. Maybe you want to try to play it now. I would say that the only thing outside of that is God Threat is a huge threat in terms of the blue-purple Luffy heading into this next turn. So if you play down that Smoker, right? There's a potential that God Thread, as they're showing on screen right now, thank you, producers, for showing that for me. If he plays that down right now, a God Thread could come in and basically negate his whole turn almost. So it is definitely a risky play, but I think a play that you kind of have to make looking at this hand. And so uses that smoker effect to restand a Dawn. That Dawn could be utilized on your Zoro-Sanji leader to be able to get 2 swings in at lead instead of 1, right, with just the Arlong. And we're going to start out 6K at lead. Did not opt to use the leader effect, right? Pick up the Dracul Mihawk. Might be something that he saves for later at this point, but could be utilizing that 2-cost Nami in the deck because, again, like I mentioned with that leader effect, you have to pick up a cost 2 or more character on your field, and that Nami searcher being a 2-cost is a perfect candidate to be able to play down, search something, pick it back up, and potentially play it again. The blue-purple Luffy ends up taking the life and moves on into the next turn. Doesn't decide to swing with the Arlong as of yet. The Arlong, he's holding it down right now. Doesn't want to get too aggro at this point. And so another Bon Clay in the hand of the blue-purple Luffy. Could go ahead and play that down, right? Would put you at 8 Dawn overall to be able to get your leader effect in the next turn. And so you might be thinking about that if you're this blue-purple Luffy. Might try to go in with something like play down the Bon Clay to ramp a Dawn, maybe attach some to your leader and leave 2 Dawn up for potentially like Thunder Bagua or something, especially for this potential banish swing that could come in because you don't have God Thread. All right, so what is the best play right now? This is such an odd matchup. You got to imagine that the blue-purple Luffy did not practice this matchup enough. So copying the 7,000 power on the smoker ends up getting a Nami trigger. So Nami trigger, if you do not know, is going to go ahead and do its activate main search. Oh my goodness, such a good first trigger. Going to be finding an East Blue type card, and we see a ton of East Blue cards in here. We see some 2Ks in the Hachan, right, as well as that Swordsman there going with the Hachan. Oh my goodness, going to be a nice one to find right there on that. Definitely can't complain about that trigger. Oh, I've got Cat right here in my lap as this blue-purple Luffy swings 7,000 power right here. Really is just asking him right now to give up 2 cards. You see the green-blue Sanji Zoro doesn't have too many cards in hand, only has 4 cards in hand at this point. So a lot of times these 7K swings are going to go through, and we see that second life get taken. It is the Shikiro Shiro right there, is the 2-cost blocker that came in the set. Goes ahead, does the Bon Clay to get back up to 8 on the turn, and passes off the turn. So 3 active Dawn. You got to imagine, again, like I said, the Thunder Bagua in the hand might be utilized on this. You've got 3 active Dawn. Finds a 4-drop Cavendish. So 4-drop Cavendish, definitely interesting in this deck, right? Is another Slash character, I believe, that you could potentially find. Definitely probably play some Slash searchers, right? Wouldn't surprise me if something like the 1-cost Perona was in this list. Really good card to be able to filter the hand. And so goes ahead, starts off with a 7K banish. I really like this banish swing right here, right? All you do is just force him to cut a card in hand at this point. Really like that. And now you've got all this done. Do you go aggressive and do you go like Hody Jones or something like that? Is Hody Jones worth it at this point? I don't think Hody Jones is worth it right now. Maybe trying to set up with like that 4-cost Cavendish and maybe swing with lead or something of the sort. Could be a route that this Zoro-Sanji takes, and might use leader effect as well to pick up the Nami to be able to swing again with this smoker. Yes, J-Tham, it is green-blue Zoro-Sanji making the top 16 and is perfect in Swiss, going a perfect 9-0 before this top cut bracket. Really good job by this Nami right here, swinging and taking out this Bon Clay. Removes a threat that is going to copy one of your 7,000 power characters. And here we go, swinging 6,000 power is going to use that leader effect when attacking to pick up a 2-cost or more character to restand a 7,000 power or less in that smoker. And so on that swing, does get another card right there. And now the smoker is going to go ahead and swing yet again. 7,000 power banish is going to force another 2K. The blue-purple Luffy running out of cards in hand at this point, but does have another 2K in that Usohachi to be able to get around that swing. You got to imagine that you're going to be able to take 1 life off of this next swing, right off of this Arlong potentially. And so Tashigi coming in right now. I like this Tashigi play, right? It keeps some of your bodies alive in case like Lin comes down on this turn, right? Going to a full 10 Dawn, this blue-purple Luffy on the next turn. A Sanji into Lin or something of the sort is definitely a viable thing that could happen. And so after taking that life, right, going down to 1, the Zoro-Sanji is going to go ahead and have the smoker activate its activate main to restand 1 Dawn. And now they've got 4. I think maybe thinking about playing a Cavendish on the field right now, but instead attaching 2 Dawn and swinging 6,000 power, right? So going with another 6, maybe thinking about playing this Nami down to be able to do another search. We've got the Thunder Bagua going off to ramp 1 Dawn, and the 2 rested for the the Kyoshiro, right? So this is a nice blocker that came in OP12. Going to be very, very good to protect your slash type characters. And so off of this top 5 for the Luffy, not a lot of incredible options, I feel like, at this point. You've got 2 Gum Gum Giants and 2 Gear 2s, as well as 1 Red Rock in this top 5. So looking to keep all of that on top just says, you know what, I really like the cards that I've got in my hand to combo well with these different events that I have. It's going to be really crazy on this first 10 Dawn turn. We'll see. Looks like a good position for this green-blue Sanji, but especially as maybe an 8-cost Katakuri comes down on the field on this turn, it's going to be difficult once this blue-purple Luffy starts playing down these big, big bodies. But one thing that is nice is you've got Hody Jones, one of the best cards in the game, right? If they go in and play that 8-drop Katakuri and leave 2 active Dawn up, the green-blue Sanji Zoro-Sanji could pick up a character or something of the sort, right? Maybe pick up this 2K of the Dracula Mihawk and eventually playing. They go ahead and counter out or block or do something of the sort. It's a little awkward of a play, like I was trying to mention, because I realized that you have nothing else to restand, but doesn't matter anyways at this point because the Luffy grinds out and takes out that Dracula Mihawk. The Bon Clay now attacking at life, copying the 7,000 power of the smoker. Looks like it's just going to be a block on that one. So says, you know what, I got the protection of the Tashigi. I'm not too worried right now. I got that chum blocker to not take any life at this point. He's thinking about playing the Luffy right now. The Luffy would be interesting. You would be able to go aggro right now and maybe swing at one of these characters or something of the sort. What's the better option right here, the 8-cost Luffy or the 8-cost Katakuri? I feel like the 8-cost Katakuri is the better option. You really want the blocker at this point, right? And so there you go. You pass off the turn. You got the 8-drop Katakuri. And so now we move into the next turn for the blue-green Sanji right here. So draws another 2K. That's going to be really nice, right? You got enough counter at this point. I see you guys talking in chat about the audio. I'll try to look into a little bit, especially after this round. It might just be the way that I've positioned my mouth. But I appreciate you all letting me know. There should be a trailer for PRBO2 during this stream, Nizuto. They mentioned it on Twitter that they were going to show one. Hody would be a really good play right here, right? Because Hody would be able to rest the 2 Dawn, and especially with no counter in hand at this point, right outside of those counter events for the blue-purple Luffy, just being able to swing out could be such a huge advantage for you, especially when your blue-green Sanji leader, right, could pick up the Tashigi and go ahead and use the smoker restand to be able to swing again. But on this 7K swing is going to go ahead and use Gum Gum Giant to draw 2 cards. We know those 2 cards are counter events, right? With no counter on them. So if you're the blue-green Sanji, maybe you want to go in and just play Hody Jones now, right? You would be able to rest the Dawn and rest the blocker. And you saw on a 7K swing that he went ahead and used Gum Gum Giant. So how much counter does he actually have in hand? And so the Nami comes down, could still use the smoker, right? To restand 1 Dawn. So it's really like Nami is being only played with 1 Dawn. Looks like they had a couple of those EBO2. We see Vanderdecken in the list. This guy's playing Vanderdecken in this list. Vanderdecken, one of my favorite cards, right? KOs anything on the field that is rested. So good when you play so many other Fishman type cards, right? We see the Hachan, we see the Hody Jones, we see the Arlong, right? So it fulfills in the what's that guy's name? Vanderdecken's effect, right? Of having to trash a Fishman type card from your hand. Absolutely cool tech in this Zoro-Sanji list. I'm a huge fan. But on the Nami on the East Blue is going to grab a 2-cost Koshiro right here. Yeah, just check in what Nami grabs. Because usually Nami just grabs Straw Hat Crew type characters. So this Nami specifically from OP03 grabbing East Blue typing. And so now going in with the 6K swing at this Bon Clay, really trying to ask maybe another... I feel like he's not going for game at this point. I think he's waiting a turn to go for game. And so gets that Bon Clay knocked out, restands 1 with the Tashigi. Still 1 Dawn active and 1 blocker left on the blue-purple Luffy side. I think the thing that you have to think about, though, at this point is your opponent just revealed the 8-cost Rush Luffy, right? And a lot of times we've seen in Japan, the 8-cost Rush Luffy is usually not just a one-of in the list, right? Usually it's maybe like a 2 or a 3. You could also play the 9-cost OP09, I believe it is, purple Luffy, right? That is also another Rush character. So if you take your own life with Hody Jones, do you have enough to actually be able to survive the attacks of the 8-drop blocker, of the 8 to 9,000, 10,000 power Rusher, and also the leader swing? Sup, I think that Vanderdecken is more so like once per game kind of thing. I don't think it's like a every single turn kind of thing. Like, I doubt you would use it more than one time, you know? That's my thought, at least, watching this. So we're definitely attaching 1 to leader, right? We do want to restand with our smoker. If we're going to play Hody Jones, the time is now, right? 7 Dawn left, but looks like not playing Hody Jones in this turn. Looks like is attaching 2 more to swing 8,000 power, uses that leader effect to restand the smoker, maybe thinking of playing the Kyoshiro on this turn and leaving 1 Dawn up potentially, or maybe swinging 8,000 power banish with the, or maybe even bigger than 8,000 power banish with the smokers. So matching the Katakuri blocker at this point is going to go ahead and take the life, kind of negate the smoker banish effect, right? Because if there's no life to gain, then, well, a smoker can't really do anything, right, or threaten with the banish. So attaches 1 Dawn to the smoker, goes ahead and swings 8,000 power, my apologies, and so uses that gear 2 to get him to 9,000 power, does not have to rest that blocker Kanakuri, then uses the Nami, goes ahead and searches, is going to do a Nami Kyoshiro play right here with the 4-Dawn, ends up finding some East Blue cards, right? Especially that 2K right there. One of the new good 2Ks for Slash type decks. The Shimotsuki Kozaburo, I think is how you pronounce it. My apologies. And then, as I mentioned, ends off the turn with the Kyoshiro. You've got a lot of counter in the hand, right? You've got another Nami Searcher, a couple 2Ks, and the Hachan, and also that new Slash character, like I mentioned. Holy moly. The blue-purple Luffy now at this point has a couple different options right now. Has that... What am I trying to say? Has that 8-cost or 9-cost Sanji in hand to be able to play this 8-cost Katakuri that's in that top, but is thinking about trying to top deck the Gum Gum Red Hawk, right? Grabs that Nami because that is a nice counter card that you like to see in this, but actually bottom decks it in general, so maybe not playing the Sanji, maybe just going to go in with a double Katakuri play, or maybe play the Sanji and then leave a bunch of Dawn open, right, to try to mitigate the amount of value that Hody Jones can get. This is a live tourney in the East. Yes, we are watching this live right now. And so swing 6,000 power over at leaders, just a nice 2K to get out of that. Surprising not using the 2-cost Nami Searcher, in my opinion, on that counter out. Or I'm sorry, wait, no, he was swinging at leader, it's 5,000 power leader. The 2K is the perfect card to use, actually, on blue-purple Luffy. Apologies. So now 8,000 power going in. Thinking about using multiple cards for counter this 8,000 power swing, I think going at the Arlong, either Arlong or leader. 2K, 2K would get out of leader, or 2K, 1K would get out in Arlong. Looks like it was going on Arlong with the 2K, 1K. Katakuri is such a valuable blocker, right? Because it does have the ability to restand itself at the end of turn, restanding 2 Big Mom Pirate type cards. So thinking about the rest of his plays, I think he's either trying to play the Nami, the 5-cost Nami on this turn, or the 8-cost Katakuri. The 5-cost Nami, maybe to filter out the hand, right? Get rid of this Sanji and Katakuri and leave a ton of Dawn open in case of that Hody Jones. So picks up some more events as well as a 2K right here. So is thinking about putting away the God Thread and the Sanji. Do like this. Those 2 cards not really going to help you at this stage of the game. Feel free to bottom those to the bottom of the deck. You guys are still saying my audio's cutting out? And so passes off the turn. Trying to see if I can change any settings. And so draws for turn, is going to go to a full 10 Dawn. Like I mentioned, the Hody Jones is a pretty... Is Hody Jones a good play here, actually? Wait. Well, thinking about his hand, right, from the perspective of the Zoro-Sanji, I wonder, I guess it's going to have to wait and see. We do know that he's going to be able to restand, right, one of these characters, more than likely the Smoker. So on that 7K swing is going to do a free block 8,000 on the Katakuri. Now the leader going ahead and using leader effect to be able to pick up the Nami, right, and restand the Smoker. Just a nice 1K counter. A couple more counter cards left in this deck, right? Could utilize one on the Smoker. I think he's still like in a relatively okay position, chat. The Zoro-Sanji, even if he doesn't hit game this next turn. But the more that he continues to swing just at life and not hit for game, the more blockers are going to come out onto the field for this blue-purple Luffy, right? Another 8-cost Katakuri in the hand. And so 8,000 power at lead right now with this Arlong. Going to be a swing. It's going to be interesting because I think a lot of these swings that he's going for right now are forcing these counter events, right? Especially now at this point with an 8,000 swing on that Arlong. Forces out that gear 2. Still over 6.5 minutes on the clock in this end game. It's definitely a crucial turn, I feel like, right? I feel like this turn almost decides the game in general. So is going to do 2. So another turn of no Hody Jones. Decides to wait another turn. Does find the Vivi, right, from EB02. Another SR in here that they find. Definitely a curious one, especially, you know, being a leader that's multicolored, right? Drawing cards sometimes is just good when you have these combo plays. And ends up failing that no East Blue cards. Wait, the Vivi's not East Blue. Is it just Alabasta? That's crazy. That's criminal. That's a terrible miss, actually. And so 6 Dawn left in the turn. What do you do at this point? Looks like he's attaching 4 Dawn for an 11,000 power swing. Maybe going ahead and playing over this Nami and playing another Kyoshiro. You still have the protection effect from that 3-cost Shigi as well. So if a 9-drop Linlin does come into the game, right, on this next turn or something of the sort, you can still keep a lot of your bodies alive. We see another blocker coming into the hand for the Katakuri, as well as a Red Rock coming in. Still has to counter out of the rest of it. Uses the 2K Sanji. Oh, you're right, Timothy. Vivi never did go to East Blue. You're right. You're right. So now using leader effect after passing the turn and playing the Kyoshiro. Another turn for this blue-purple Luffy to set up. Sees the Linlin in that top. The Linlin, in my opinion, not necessarily a great card at this point. I feel like a lot of times the Linlin is a great card to get. But if you're the blue-purple Luffy right now, I definitely agree, like grabbing these Namis to play down, filter the hand a little bit to try to find like counter events and stuff, play another blocker, leave a lot of Dawn open, could just be the best game plan that you could do because Hody Jones, like I've mentioned, is just that good of a card. And so swings 6,000 power at leader, is thinking about using some cards. Moving around, the cards are Cavendish in hand, Hody Jones, and what was the third card? Is it a 2K? It's a 2K Hachan. Not afraid of losing at this point, right? Just takes that first life. An Arlong, that's a non-counter card in the Arlong. The more that the Luffy commits, though, to swinging, the better off the Zoro-Sanji is. And on this swing with the Katakuri, goes ahead and commits the blocker. Another Nami comes down on the field. We saw that get grabbed. And so 3 cards going into the hand and 2 being put on the top or bottom of the deck. Finds 2 Sanjis and a pudding. Not great cards, I feel like, at this point. Your hand is actually kind of limited in some stuff. Right, only 1 counter event in the Thunder Bagua and only a 2K, 1K outside of that. You do have 3 blockers and 5 active Dawn to work with to kind of feint some things, but your hand's kind of running low on the counter power here. Yo, what's up, Raven? And so drawing for turn, it looks like grabbing another Cavendish, so Yeah, I think Hody could just win the game right here. Or it's your best chances you have to win this game. You slam it down, you rest 2 of the blockers, right? And you just hope that you have enough swings and enough counter. You can pick up your 2K Tashigi, right, to get an extra swing on the smoker. So starts out 7,000 power right here. Is going to either command a 2K or a block, right? We could see the Katakuri block as we saw in the last turn. And so the Usohachi 2K is going to be utilized. Ends up swinging 6,000 power poke damage with the R-Long. And so there's that counter. And so he really needs, at this point, he needs blocks to happen on like the leader swing and his extra swing. So goes ahead and swings 6,000 power, going to pick up the Kyoshiro. Okay, not picking up the Tashigi. Interesting. I guess, I mean, you're dead either way, right? With all these swings that they could have. So now Thunder Bagua comes in, is going to go ahead and do that. The Smoker restands. I think he's got game right now. Yeah, if he just slams down Hody Jones, you slam down Hody Jones, you rest the 2. Although, then again, the opponent has no idea, right? This blue-green Sanji has no idea that there is no counter in the hand, that these leftover active Dawn are just feint, right? They're just a feint to make you believe that there's another Gum Gum Giant in hand. But this 7K swing, the 7K swing is always like a Katakuri block, right? It's just a free block. You don't reveal any information, right? Because if you block with the Nami, oh, he's blocking with the Nami. Okay. In my opinion, if you block with the Nami and you don't counter, I'm slamming down the Hody Jones, because that's like, why did you not save that Nami, right? That could have been a swing into me on this next turn. So I'm going all in at this point. It's so hard to tell at these points, right? Especially if you're the blue-purple Sanji player, and they've officially hit overtime as well in this match. So turn 0 being the blue-green Sanji. I think this game's over like either after this turn or the blue-purple Luffy's turn right at this point, just simply because, you know, we're at the end game right now. You really got to think about like how many events that they've seen at this point and what's the likelihood of them having more at right now. Come on, just Hody Jones, the blockers. You've got this. So 5, 7. He's got 2 Dawn left over after that. That would be a 10,000. He's thinking about playing Hody Jones. I think he kind of sees, yo, don't be toxic, Velvet. Don't be toxic. This is an extremely stressful moment of the tournament. Don't be toxic. And so plays down Hody Jones, rests those 2 blockers, restands with the Smoker, 1 Dawn. And so swings 6,000 power on the Tashigi, is going to end up getting the win, right? Try to maximize the amount of power going into the different swings, right? How can they best utilize the Dawn to give them the best chance? Really got a breather there, an exhale of relief that no counter was in the hand after resting those blockers. Phenomenal match as Zoro-Sanji makes it into the top 8 of the Fukuoka Championships. Very, very exciting. Also a very cool list, right? Let's go ahead and look at the list a little bit. Or, well, I don't have the list on me, but we can, like, build it. Let's see. We've got this. We saw a couple of these. I'm just going to say 4. Actually, let's wait until we get into the between rounds to build the deck. Or maybe I'll start building the deck on the side. I'm going to start building the deck on the side chat as we watch this, just in case some reveals happen. Okay, type. Let's see, he had some Fishman Pirate cards. He was playing these. They're talking about the Bandai app. Played some Vanderdeckens, played some Hody Jones. I didn't see any new Fishman Pirate cards. Let's see, card name, Nami. Grabbed a playset of those. We saw Tashigi. Let's see. Let's say 4 of those. We got the Kyoshiro. Let's say 4 of those. We saw Cavendish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smoker. There were smokers in that deck. Somewhere between 2 to 4. I mean, Zoro-Sanji is such a sick deck. I can't wait for all the YouTube videos coming out tomorrow. No, I don't speak Japanese, Jad. I don't. Oh, is this showing like... Oh, this looks like kind of winning lists. Or like just popular lists. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is the... Maybe what they're doing right now... Chad, I don't speak Japanese, so this is just my guess. This might be like when they host a championship, right? And instead of just posting on Twitter... Because I think Kato was the person who won... with the Rob Lucci the other week, and I think this is his exact list. Yeah, played a couple. I think this is his exact list. This might just be a place where they post the tournament results, actually. Oh, that's very cool. Shimotsu? This is interesting. I really want this. Oh, can you log your stats? I need Ikailakai to make a video on this right now. Oh, he played the Vivi. You're right. He played Weevil? Chad, did you guys see EBO1 Weevil in the list? Yes, I got the Shimotsuki in there. Yeah, he went through a lot of his deck. I didn't see a Perona. I think the Nami was his only search. Yeah, the deck trends things that they're talking about is... Oh, and it looks like set lists. You can look at the set lists on this app. Or, wait, no. Maybe not set lists. You can just look at every version of every card. It's just like a card lookup. Yeah, I got the Vanderdecken in there. Okay, chat, sorry to distract you from this incredibly cool app, but this is what I've got so far. How do you guys feel about this? Is there any cards that are missing from this that we saw? I know it's over 50. I'm sure the ratios are different. Do you guys feel there was anything different to this? Just checking back to see that they're not doing a PRB reveal. Oh, the Mihawk. Yeah. The Mihawk. Good call, Chad. Good call. We know he was playing this Mihawk. So we'll just say 4 of them for now. Because ratios can change. Yes, Micah just won the top 16 round of the championship. Yeah, Mihawk 2K. We got that in there. So probably like playing with the ratios a little bit. I don't think he was playing more than 2 of these because we only saw 1. He's probably... I could see him like only playing 3 or 2 of these. Probably not for Vivi, you say? Mihawk can play out Vivi? Oh, Vivi is Slash. Still talking about the app, which is very cool, and I hope somebody explains it to me. I wonder if he was playing less than 4 smokers. Yeah, it would be weird without Milk, but we did not see a Perona the entire time, and he searched a couple times like off trigger and then replaying it down after leader effect, right? Like, we did not see any Peronas. Is it really cutting out my sentences midway? Let me put the stream back on while I look at it. I don't have any filters on. Audio's good, audio's fine. Not for me on YouTube. I'll look into it. It might be the internet. I'll look into it tomorrow, Chad, but I appreciate you guys letting me know when there are issues and whatnot. Chad, do you guys feel like there's any other cards that we may have missed? I value my card at whatever it's worth, Easy TCG. Yeah, I mean, they played the Nami searcher like crazy. They searched so many times. Hey, I appreciate the feedback, chat. Also, thank you so much to everyone that's here. We will be going over every single round in this championship. And if you happen to need to go to bed or go to work if you're in Europe or something, you can go and watch the VOD. I super appreciate everybody that's here right now. There's a lot of you here. Very good support. Make sure to follow or subscribe or whatever, you know, if you're enjoying the stream. But yeah, we just watched a blue-purple Luffy beat let me restart. We just watched a green-blue Sanji beat a blue-purple Luffy, and his list was something along the lines of maybe this. Obviously, the ratios are probably wrong, because this is 52 cards right here, plus the leader. But he searched through a lot of his deck, so if we took the time, we probably could see a lot of his deck. But this is probably pretty decently close. Are they going to have an app? Is there an app coming to, like, test? Hey, appreciate it, Pancake. Don't get in trouble at work. I would say it's playable. Or official sim. I don't know if it's official sim. We'll see if Batsu tweets. Is Batsu awake, chat? Oh, and here's the top 8, chat. We've got Blue Purple Luffy at 3 spots, right? Not really a surprise. And then all the rest of the decks as one-ofs. The OP12 Zoro from 5 entries in the top 16, now only down to 1. Green Yellow Law also made it through into the top 8. I think this is Zoro-Sanji right here. Made it into the top 8. Obviously, you have Rayleigh making it into the top 8 and Marshall D. Teach. And we've got the next round of this tournament, the top 8 round, repping the Lakers right here. I like to see that as someone who was just in LA for the Dodgers game. Playing Green Zoro. So Green Zoro is kind of the best deck on the block coming out of OP12, out of the leaders. Has that 3 Dawn activate main once per turn. If you battled a character, right, whether that's KOing a character, right, swinging out a searcher, battling a blocker when your opponent opted to block, whatever, you can restand your leader, but you can't swing at a 7 cost or less character for the rest of the turn. So allows you to get aggressive and do 2 swings. Marshall D. Teach is going to be an interesting deck. This new starter decks 23 through 28, legal in this tournament. Teach getting a buff in that 7-drop Teach as well as that 6-drop Kuzan and maybe a couple other cards. Could be super impactful within this matchup, right? Negating on play effects of that Dracul Mihawk, right? The 8-cost Dracul Mihawk blocker that Zoro will play. The 5-drop Tashigi, right? Being able to rest one of your opponent's 5-drop or less characters and then give 3 Dawn to your Zoro leader to go ahead and use leader effect is definitely going to be an interesting matchup, I feel like, at this point. I'm sorry, Chad, doing social media. All right. All right, back to focusing on you guys, Chad. Chad, has anybody told you that you're beautiful? Yo, what's up, Marry Me? No, Milk, I only have my green purple Luffy leader. I don't have any extras. Yo, Beast, what's good? Yes, Raven, this is starter deck legal. Yeah, most of the one-ofs won in that top 16 round, which was really cool. And here we go with the Zoro's hand. You've got the Hiyori, right, is a really nice 1-drop searcher. The 3-drop Tashigi as a 2K. You've got the Cavendish right there. One of the best cards in the deck, right? Even though it can't use its on-play effect to restand Dawn, can still use it when attacking. And then a couple of the beautiful alternate art Peach Momoko Tashigis. The Teach here has an interesting hand to start. Does have some early search in the full lead stage as well as the 1-drop Lafitte, but also has the 4-drop Jesus Burgess, I forgot his name, and 7-drop Blackbeard, the Zoro, going first in this. Probably going to play the 1-drop Hiyori going first. They have not done the PRBO2 reveal trailer yet, chat. They just showed off like the website and an update to the app. The Zoro actually going first passes the turn. Maybe doesn't want to play Hiyori and then get it dock queued immediately. The Blackbeard going ahead on the 2 Dawn turn using the Lafitte. Pretty good play right here. Does find a couple different options in the My Era Begins, right? That My Era Begins going to be really nice in the next turn to be able to build up the trash on a 4-Dawn turn. You can go ahead, play the Lafitte, use the Lafitte, play the My Era Begins, and also play the full lead stage, right? So it is going to be very nice. You see that swing on the Lafitte is going to be able to get the knockout, and the Zoro, one of the reasons it's so strong, the activate main restanding because it battled that Lafitte character, is going to be able to swing another 8,000 power at lead. And so now on this trigger, right on this first life, My Era Begins, going to be able to grab a Black Hole. Black Hole might be really nice in this matchup, right, to help get rid of some of these characters that Zoro might play on the field, including Cavendish. You just need a little bit more cost minus to be able to get rid of that guy in this situation. The Blackbeard on the 4-Dawn turn is going to go ahead and swing 5 at lead, pitching the Cavendish immediately. And the full lead comes down on the field. Going to be doing some hand filtering, right? Going to be doing some searching, building up the trash at this point. Going to look at that top 3 for a Blackbeard Pirates card. Finds a couple options, opts for the 2K Stronger, putting the 10 cost Blackbeard into the bottom of the deck. Stronger, really nice 2K to have in this list, and is almost always in these Blackbeard lists. And so now with another Dawn, goes ahead with My Era Begins, is going to search out 3 of them, and we see a couple cards. That nice SP Kuzan we love to see, but also a 6-cost Kuzan from the starter deck is what he grabs. So now with the rest of the Dawn, goes ahead and does a Lafitte, just builds up that hand, just continues to search in this game. Find some options. We see some of the techs in this Blackbeard deck. Tempest Kick has started to become a mainstay in these Blackbeard decks right in the last set or so, but is thinking about grabbing the alternate art 5-cost Kuzan from OP10. That is a nice card to get to be able to recur some of your cards, especially when you use leader effect to put away the Jesus Burgess. You'll be able to get that back with the 5-cost Kuzan. So the Zoro for turn draws a Kawamatsu, has a Hody Jones in hand, so interesting interaction maybe on the next turn. If the Blackbeard decides to use leader effect on the 7-Dawn turn, he'll be able to play Hody, get Rush for free. And so now the leader effect going in, taking out that Searcher, is going to be able to grab another life. And with the 2-Dawn, goes ahead and uses the Hiyori. The Hiyori, not an on-play effect to be able to do this top 5 search for a Slash character. It is a activate main, rest 1 Dawn and that character. Finds the demonic 9-sword style Asura card, right? A mini Hody Jones, being able to rest blockers and Dawn, as well as being a 3,000 power counter event, is going to be really nice for this matchup specifically because, as we've seen, there's a couple blockers in this list, like that 6-cost Kuzan from the starter deck, that could prove a troublesome point for the Zoro. The Blackbeard, starting off with the full lead stage right there, pitches the Von Augur, grabs another My Era Begins, just once again wants to build up the trash at this point with these little events. Goes ahead and swings 5, clearing that Hiyori. You don't want any potential search in the incoming turns. You want to try to lower the hand as much as possible. Playing that My Era Begins, finds a 10-cost Teach and a 6-cost Kuzan. We know that one of the 10-cost Teaches was bottom decked earlier, and I may be wrong, but I feel like in a previous search there was another 10-cost Teach. So not grabbing this third one, potentially second one in this, and grabbing just a second 6-cost Kuzan. So maybe just try to build up the board and spread it out a little bit more wide in this matchup. Puts down that 5-cost Kuzan on the field, pitches the Liberation for the leader effect, and passes off the turn. Kuzan, with that blanket protection effect, right, cannot be removed from the field, is going to be on the next turn a nice 5k poke into the activate main and putting whatever body they want to put on the field. Death Striker, that's what I usually do for the YouTube videos. And so now with the Demonic 9-Sword Stylosaur is going to go ahead and rest that Kuzan. We knew the card was in hand, right? So being able to now use Leader Effect right after resting that Kuzan is going to take it out and grab another life. Is actually going to hit a lot in value on this Blackbeard, right? The Blackbeard had pitched away the Burgess earlier in the game, and so is going to have to use another one of these 5-drops in hand to be able to get that guy out onto the field. Maybe also thinking about the blocker Kuzan, right? The blocker Kuzan could be very nice to be able to regurgitate some resources that you've got in the game. Trying to quickly pull up the Blackbeard starter deck so I get the text of Kuzan correctly. A lot of trash has been built up by this Blackbeard, right? A lot of stuff going on in this match, especially on the searches, has built up this hand to kind of what he's wanted it to be, right, on all of this search. He's on an 8-Dawn turn at this point, so starts off with the full lead stage, pitching that 7-drop Blackbeard. Finds another 7-drop as well as a Van Augur, right? The two options that he can grab. The Van Augur is going to be nice for at least a little bit of counter in your hand that you could potentially utilize, but that 7-drop Blackbeard, if you do end up wanting to do that, if it does get KO'd, is going to be able to allow you to grab something from your trash and put it in your hand. So ends up swinging 6,000 at lead. A 2K Kawamatsu is coming down onto the bench. Going ahead, has 7 Dawn left in the turn, ends up resting 6 for the Kuzan. The Kuzan going to be nice, right? It's a blocker and a 1-drop Caribou as well. The interesting interaction, right, that you do have to think about after this Leader Effect comes down is that if the Zoro battles a character, it can go ahead and restand for another swing on that Activate main. Battling a blocker, right, when your opponent opts to block, is battling a character still at that point. So you got to be really cautious of when he can restand, right, and when you go ahead and block. So on this 7,000 power swing, is thinking of just using that Kuzan, and on that on KO effect, now playing a 5-cost or less Blackbeard Pirate type character rested, being that Jesus Burgess. I don't know the power of the Jesus Burgess, but with the rest of the turn playing the Hody Jones now going at life, is going to prompt either the Caribou block or a life taken, and the Caribou block is the option. I use the teach to grab the teach to grab the teach to grab the teach. And so, yes, one of the things that I've loved that they started doing in these Japan Championships is placing the counters on different characters, placing these tokens so we kind of have a better idea of what's happening in the game. The Jesus Burgess, a 9,000 power character, going to be a heavy swinging body potentially at this Hody Jones, is going to go ahead and start off 5,000 power at lead. Is just going to be a 2K counter out of that one. So if he goes in with the Burgess, right, because you gave a 2K on a 5K swing, you probably get the knockout on the Hody, right? You got to think. Yeah, the great thing is when Blackbeard uses Leader Effect, Hody Jones actually doesn't take the life on the on-play effect. It's incredible. And so using the full lead stage to get rid of the black hole, character's just a little bit too big for the black hole, ends up finding Doc Q for the option. We see Tempest Kick in that stack, right? Can't grab Tempest Kick. It's a CP0 event or CP9 event and builds up the hand. Just another card. Still like a decently healthy hand size, I think, for the Blackbeard. And now a 5th power-up comes down on the Burgess. And so 10,000 power on the Hody Jones gets the knockout. So thinking about playing another 5-cost Kuzan right here. Could just go double 5-cost Kuzan on this turn, right? Would be able to get out 2 different characters out onto the field. I don't think there's another Burgess in the trash right now. So the Kuzan, a little bit more limited to just like Van Augur or something of the sort in terms of options. Ends up using the Kuzan effect right away and plays a card that we're starting to see more in these Blackbeard decks. San Juan Wolf, I believe is how you say it. Has a 4-cost, 6,000 power stat line. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gains blocker and +1 cost for every 4 cards in your trash. And so with that, +5 is a 9 cost on the field. Is going to be a nice blocker that you're playing off of the Kuzan right here. So playing out the rest of this Dawn is just going to go ahead with this other Kuzan. I don't know if you have a great target at this point. It's not like you have another San Juan Wolf in the trash. You just really have Van Augurs at this point. So you might just hold on to this Kuzan right here and hope that maybe doesn't have a way to rest and swing into it, right, for that free leader effect. So going ahead, using leader effect and pitching the dot Q, right? No on-play effects for this Zoro. Going to draw for turn. Still at 5 life, so still has plenty to be able to work with. Might go ahead and use this Hiyori to try to get another character to play out within the turn, right? Plenty of slash characters to be able to find and put onto the field. Try to get maybe a little bit wider at this point. Yeah, definitely just holding on to the 3 Peach Momoko Tashigis. Ends up using the 10,000 power swing to just take a life, put the Blackbeard to 1, and uses the 3-cost event. Luffy is going to be king of the pirates to get another 10,000 power swing and put this Blackbeard to 0 life right now. The Hiyori coming in to be able to try to find a slash character. Might try to find something that can help him push for game in the coming turns. Does find the demonic 9-sword style event, and so with the different blockers on field, right, only 1 blocker in the San Juan Wolf might not be usable here in this next upcoming turn. The event does take, I believe, 4 Dawn to be able to rest the different blockers and whatnot on the field. Could go ahead and see if they've got a little Blackbeard blocker. No Vasco shot in this list that I've seen so far at this point. Does find a 10-drop, so 10-drop could come out onto the field. Would give you 2 blockers, but I don't know if it's... Is it worth it? The other cards are the 5-drop Van Augur and also the 7-drop Blackbeard. So is going to go ahead and grab the 10-drop Blackbeard. And do you just slam it down? You've got a little bit of counter in hand with the Strongers. Trying to see the other cards. I don't think you have enough counter to be able to get out of the swing if the demonic 9-sword style comes in. You're going to have to pop your Kuzan preemptively just to be able to get that draw effect right on that activate main, just to find another counter card. So is going to go ahead before doing anything else, just swing 5,000 power at lead, is going to have that Zoro take the life right here. Potential trigger, could it be? It could be the zero cost event. So the zero cost event in OP04, I believe, actually could be really useful right now. Or I'm sorry, is it OP03 or OP04? I looked at the wrong one. I believe the trigger off the top of my head is resting a 4-cost or less character, which wouldn't be anything, right? Because the Harujan, yeah, resting a 4-cost or less character. The Harujan is not a 4-cost; it's a 9-cost, isn't it? It's a 9-cost. It's not an original cost of 4, so you actually can't rest anything, so allows him to put it back in hand. Definitely an interaction that you need to know. And so uses that Kuzan effect, does end up drawing 1 card. It is a 2K Caribou, which is actually kind of a big deal, right? Because the Caribou is a 2K. Oh, OP05. Thank you, chat. OP05. And so there goes the Van Augur onto the field coming off of that Kuzan effect, right? It is a 6K body. It's kind of one of your best options on the field. You can't bring back another Kuzan, so can't bring that blocker. Also, that blocker being a 6-cost doesn't fit that parameter anyways. And now swings 5,000 power at lead. Is going to go ahead, take a life right there. Another Hody Jones. So now the Blackbeard swinging, or I'm sorry, the Jesus Burgess swinging 10 is going to take a life, and the 10-drop Blackbeard coming down, using leader effect to get rid of the Tempest Kick non-counter card. Does have 2, 4, 6, 7K in counter in hand. The Hody Jones actually gets you the same place, right? No, Hody Jones does not. Because you don't have on-play effects, you can't rest the blockers. Yeah, I think probably, maybe if you're not going to be able to rest the blocker right on that 0-cost trigger, you'd rather just have it in hand to kind of give you a chance to survive in the next turn. I don't know if Hody Jones wins the game, though, because there's enough counter in hand, right? Or, well, Hody Jones wouldn't win the game. The Demonic 9-sword style Asura would leave you 6 Dawn to a swing 11. The Blackbeard can get out of that. The Blackbeard can go to 12, right? The highest that the Zoro can swing is 11. I guess the best thing that you can do right now is you can use the Demonic 9-sword style to rest the 2 blockers, swing at the Burgess, and then just restand leader to swing at life, right? Because, or do you swing at the blocker? Do you swing at, like, the Harujan? Because there's no way that they'd be able to save that, right? And they wouldn't. Yeah, it uses 4 Dawn to use. Demonic 9-sword style Asura uses 4 Dawn to use for the event. So you put 6 on leader for an 11,000 power swing, and the Blackbeard can get to exactly 12. It is 2 Strongers and 1 Caribou are the 2Ks in hand. Yeah, if he swings into this Burgess, then, I mean, the Burgess dies because you can't do both, right? You can't save both bodies and still win. But if the Zoro gets rid of the Burgess, does he have enough counter to win the game? He has the 2K and the Hachan in hand, has the 0-cost event that we saw earlier. I don't think he's even going to play the Demonic event. No, he's just swinging at lead. And so ends up getting the block right there. Ends up going leader because of the block right. And now the Blackbeard comes in. Block and 2K, right? 2K, 1K. Who's doing a thing? 2K, 1K on the Burgess and also the Stronger. Yo, thank you, favorite anime villain, for the raid over on Twitch. Welcome in, Raiders. Watching the top 8 round. Definitely a close game between the Zoro and Blackbeard. Now, the real question is, can the Zoro lose at this point, right? It's a full 10 done. The Blackbeard is bigger and badder than ever, right? He is now 11,000 power. Can you just math him out? I think you can just math him out. You need 3 swings to hit. I would just commit all your Dawn on Blackbeard, Van Augur, and Burgess, right? At this point. So goes in with the full lead, right? Just filtering out the hand. Maybe tries to find, you know, a 2K and finds plenty of them in the Stronger. I don't know if the 2K matters that much. I think this is also... Is this the 4th Teach, I think? So, Wicked, the 10-cost Blackbeard only nullifies the leader effect on the Teach's turn. It doesn't nullify the effect on the Zoro's turn. Only characters get nullified on the Zoro's turn. Yeah, all good, all good. Feel free to ask questions, Wicked. So grabs a Stronger off of that 2K Blackbeard Pirate card. And so has 3 2Ks in hand as well as a couple 1Ks. Could play the 6-cost Kuzan. Just try to elongate this game. So ends up swinging 7 with the Van Augur, right? No 10-cost Blackbeard coming in. Goes to 8 with the 0-cost event. Yeah, I mean, he could use the demonic 9-sword style for counter to be able to survive. So I don't think he's afraid of dying on this turn. It's just a matter of what does Blackbeard play on this turn. Maybe Zoro's got it. Because he's only got... No, he has 3 2Ks. He's sitting in more counter than he did earlier. So actually, I don't know. The Zoro might be in trouble. Because with the demonic 9-sword style, he still can only swing 11. And Blackbeard can get out of that. He's got even more counter in hand. And so 2K gets out of that swing. This is a crazy game, chat. If he doesn't play a blocker, though, you just jam... Like, you have to play a blocker here if you're the Blackbeard, right? Because you want to force the demonic 9-sword style. Because if you just leave one blocker out, he just jams, like, all 10 with leader and swings, like, 15-15. So there's the Kuzan. I think the Kuzan's the best play he can make. Is he going to play the Caribou as well? He might play the Caribou. Oh, passes off the turn, does not play the Caribou at this point. The little 1-drop blocker. There's Vanderdecken, my guy. Leader effect was not used on this turn, actually, chat. I think. So Hody Jones is active. Can Hody Jones get you there with this math? I think Hody Jones can get you there, right? Because you swing, you rest the 2 blockers on Hody Jones, and then you go 8 with Hody Jones. That's 2 2Ks. And then you swing 8 with Zoro, and he only has 2K, 1K in hand. Hody Jones wins the game because he didn't use leader effect, right? Am I crazy? Somebody tell me I'm crazy. Did he use leader effect? Also, this Zoro's playing Vanderdecken. Can we talk about this? Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he used leader effect. And respectively, right, not using leader effect, you're trying to keep as many cards in hand as possible because you know he has the demonic 9-sword style. But, like, yeah, Hody Jones wins the game right here. I don't think it's necessarily a throw headshot because you don't know that he has Hody in hand. No, he's not playing Hody. He's resting the blocker with the Tashigi. And so he's going to swing the rest at lead. I think this also gets there, right? Because that's 8 Dawn, that's 13. Yeah, this also gets there. Wait, Tashigi got him there anyways. Triple blocker would have been safe. So I guess maybe, no, actually, maybe you're right. No, Blackbeard's actually pretty all right next format. Maybe actually, yeah, it is a throw not to play the Caribou. Maybe you're right. Yeah, it probably was a bad, although what's the reasoning not to play the Caribou though? To value the 2K in hand? Triple blocker dies to spell. Yeah, so like cuz then he runs out of counter right in hand. He can only match, or no. So if he plays the 3 blockers, 2 of them get rested from demonic 9-sword style, and then he swings 11-11, right? Because he swings the 11. You have 2K, 2K, 1K in hand if you didn't use leader effect, so you can only get up to 10,000 power. So yeah, actually, yeah, if he played the Caribou, he also lost. So he just valued the 2,000 counter more. Chat, I think they're about to do the PRB. They're talking like they might. Here we go, chat. Oh, let me not full screen for you guys. Silver's Rayleigh being reprinted. Cavendish being reprinted, chat. He's coming. Cavendish being reprinted. Oh, no. But that was the purple Luffy. Chat, that was the EBO2 purple Luffy. No, that's not Bon Clay. That's not Bon Clay. No. No, chat. Oh, no. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back, chat. Look at all these beautiful cards. Bon Clay and Cavendishes are here, chat. They're here. I don't care about anything else. Actually, I do care about a lot of stuff in here. Very cool. Oh, man, chat. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. Beautiful. The unique. Oh, there's a new Jinbei? Is this a new Jinbei? Oh, this Marco is gorgeous. Oh, this boa is gorgeous. 7-drop pudding? Some gold dawn, chat. They're doing the same thing, chat. They're doing the PRB thing with the gold dawn. Look at all that gold dawn. Here's the SPs, right? The SPs. Ooh, pudding. 4-drop pudding getting an SP. Ooh, 4-drop Rebecca getting another SP, chat. Did you see that? Ooh, Gum Gum Giant, chat. It's not getting banned. It's not getting banned. All right. Wait, what is this? Is this OP12? Is this an ad for OP12? It is. Whoa, Manga Sanji. Oh, wait. The PRB ad's not over. Manga Sanji, chat. Manga Sanji. I mean, Rebecca's a broken card. I don't think I saw EBO1 Chopper, but I kind of blacked out when I saw Cavendish and Bon Clay. I know, manga Sanji. Are they going to show it? They usually show the cards in person. Shoo! Chat, it's not a manga Luffy. Oh, he's got cards! What's he got? What's he got? Oh, Lucky Roo getting reprinted. No! Keep swiping! Keep swiping! I don't care. Show me the manga! Wait, no, this is a different Lucky Roo. This is 2,000 power. Oh, this is a new card in PRB. Ooh! New Bonnie blocker? Mr. 2! Chad, buggy stonks. Buggy stonks. Buy your buggies. Mr. 3. Yes, they're reprinting Bon Clay, the secret rare. Ooh, new Nami. Chad, I can't wait to see all these cards pop up in our Discord server. Yo, Eustace Kid. Thank you so much for the happy. Well, I made the joke, chat. Okay, chat, let's be so real right now. I made the joke that they're not banning Gum Gum Giant, but remember that Gecko Moria got a PRB alternate art and then it got banned, so... It could happen. Yeah, they definitely look warped. They definitely look warped. Oh, look at Marco. Another... Why are there so many blockers in this chat? They're showing us so many blockers. Yeah, these are alternate arts of PRBO2. Some of them I don't think have been revealed. Like, I don't remember the Otama. Yeah, like these look really good. Like, we've seen these. Like, we know this Usohachi exists. 2-cost Rosinante, I really like this reprint, and I like this alternate art a lot. 4-cost Trafalgar Law, that's the one that I hate. I think, right? 9-cost KO Shanks right here. New Zoro. Blocker? Is that a 2K Zoro? Oh my gosh, searchable 2K Zoro and OP12 Zoro. Yeah, these alts look so good. Yeah, the manga was the 9-cost Sanji. Beast, thank you so much for following, by the way, 7 minutes ago. Jinbei! This is a different Jinbei. This is a different Jinbei. A new one. I know the 2-cost Rosinante alt is so nice. I love that that card's going to get reprinted. Phew, chat. Bon Clay. And Cavendish. Chat, once we get a break, we'll look through this again to see if they... Actually, I could just look like right here. I'm trying to see... I can't really see if there's the... if there's any EBO 1 cards in there. Like the Shirahoshi or the Tony Chopper. Oh, this Pudding is gorgeous. Why does Pudding get such good cards? More sugar support. This is a Dawn -2. Minus 6,000 power? Big Mom? Something with the Big Mom Pirates. I can't read Japanese, chat. 7-drop 5k, 1k counter effect is going to be nuts. Yeah, it's a Dawn times 2 as well. This effect is going to be insane. Purple Kata support. Has any populated in the Discord? Let me look. Ooh, some of them have no, none of them have populated in Discord yet. Oh, look at this boa chat. Something about Monkey D. Luffy. Is this like trash a card with trigger? I can't read. Oh, you were talking about the previous Dofi. Hey, I'm all in for Purple Kata support. I like that deck. Yeah, Pinwheel, I get that, yeah. I could see how some of these are hard to read. I'm trying to learn Japanese. I'm not fluent and nowhere close to being fluent, but trying. Show me the manga, Sanji! Whoa, look at that Gum Gum Giant chat. This looks so good. They're never banning this card, chat. You can't just make that and ban the card. Holy smokes, brother. Brother. This is pudding. Yeah, this is the pudding that resets your hand. Yeah, they've revealed some good cards. This card getting another SP and another alternate art is crazy to me. Although this card is absolutely gorgeous. This might is this my new favorite Rebecca art? No, Jumbo, I'm sorry. I thought about selling mine recently, but I didn't want to risk it. It was a PRB new card for Cost Jinbei, Streamako. That Sanji looks so good. I love that he's doing the kick. I love this manga. Shout out Bandai for making this. I love these panels as well. The Diable Jambe, you know, his smiles, right? I love this. Yo, bonjour, Habib. Hope you're having a great day. Ah, gosh, this looks so good, and I bet it's stunning in person. I don't think Rebecca needs to get banned, especially now. Rebecca's fine. Just let rotation take it out in April. I know, Isabella Rue. Yeah, that's the same 9-cost Sanji. That's the same 9-cost Sanji you see down here at OP06. All right, they're taking a break, chat. They're taking a break before they go to top 4. Let's read over some of these cards that they're posting in Discord. Okay, so we got the Don Quixote do Flamingo. This is 5-cost, 6,000 power, 1k blocker. Don Quixote 7 Warlords. On play, if your leader is multicolored, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. This is probably really good in Sugar, right? Because Sugar plays the 8 and 5 package of the Don Quixote, Doflamingo, and Rosinante. So this is just another 5-cost option to where you don't have to play Rosinante or Senor Pink every single time. You have a little bit of versatility, and it has counter on it, which you really like. But yeah, in terms of their reveals, they did confirm that Cavendish was getting reprinted, chat. as well as, oh, the Shirahoshi's in there. Love that. The Brook is in there too, chat. Oh my God, we're eating so good right now. We're eating so good right now. The Bon Clay, the Gum Gum Jet Gatling, Nojiko, right? Nojiko is like it's like a $4 uncommon, chat. A $4 uncommon from OP03. Now it's getting reprinted. Oh my gosh, I love this. These are some of the alternate arts. We got the Zoro from OP09. You're the one that should disappear. Oh, I love this Otama. She looks so cute. But yeah, I love this right here. This section right here is what I love. These three cards. That's the gold mine, chat. I'm sorry, Ricktan. It'll be a while before the Cavendish comes, right? Before the reprints come in PRB. We still have several months before that. So if you're like me and you want to run Green Yellow Law now, you need the Cavendish. They did show the manga. It is this guy right here. This Sanji right here. Beautiful, beautiful manga in my opinion. Beautiful, beautiful manga. I absolutely love this Sanji. I might try to get it. The Discord for the YouTube members, the Discord is in the description. Is Bon Clay going to be cheaper thanks to the reprint? It will, Nicholas. It'll probably dip down a little bit like overnight, right? Because people are mass selling their Bon Clays to try to get the maximum value as possible. So it'll go down a little bit, but it'll really start tanking once the PRBO2 releases out here in the West. I know, where's the EBO1 chopper? They should have put that in. We don't know what's in top 4 yet, Hukulele. We don't know what's in top 4. But Chad, thank you so much to everyone that is here right now. I super appreciate your support and love. There's a lot of people here you watching the stream. Every single one of these Japan championships, right? We will be live streaming in the night, watching these, doing commentary, talking about the reveals, stuff like that, just hanging out as a group. So make sure if you like what you see, you like the commentary, you like talking about the different things, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It goes out a lot. I do this for a living now, so your support is immensely helpful. And make sure to also like the live stream, right? If you like the live stream, more people will find it. No Laboon, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, Finger Pistol is going to go down. Did I read the other card? I don't think they've posted. They haven't posted another card in my Discord yet, per se. But once they do, I will read it. Yes. I haven't read the Zoro yet. I kind of hope that the Zoro-Sanji makes top 4 so we can watch it again. Because that was crazy, chat. Yeah, I know. No Chopper or Laboon. What's this animal hate that they've got going on? Bonnie's an oh, gosh, sorry. Bonnie's an interesting deck, Santiago. My favorite deck to spectate in OP12. Good question, Jordan. I really like Rayleigh. I think watching Rayleigh is really fun. I also really, really like OP12 Sanji, the ones that really excelled in the top 16 of the championship a couple weeks ago. I thought that was really, really cool to see. I'm a fan of green, yellow, law. Big fan of green, yellow, law right now. I think those are like my top three most exciting decks. Or wait, was that 4? No, that was 3, I think. The one-drop Searcher Bonnie? I didn't see the one-drop Searcher Bonnie, Rickton. I'm personally playing a lot of green, yellow, law right now. Yeah, SEC Ace getting a reprint is awesome because I don't have a single Ace yet in my collection. Is that the 2K Law promo? Was the 2K Law promo in there? I might have glossed over it. That's the 7-cost Law. Also, this getting one is awesome. Oh, they're about... Oh, yeah, chat. The 2K Law promo is coming in. The promo 2K Yellow Law is coming in. That's going to be really nice. All right, but on to top 4 chat. We've got the top 4 round coming up. It looks like... Is this the blue-purple Luffy? Is this blue-purple or purple Luffy? I think this is blue-purple Luffy right here. You've got green-yellow Law, the OP12 Zoro that we just watched, and the Zoro-Sanji's in top 4. Ho-ho, chat. All right, on to the top 4 round. It looks like green-yellow Law. This is the deck that I'm most excited about right now in the One Piece trading card game. It's my favorite deck to play. As Jonas Abraham said, you know, one of the best players in the West. It's a deck that you have to do so much more work than any other deck, but it's fun to watch. It's going to be interesting. The green yellow Law, if you do not know, it is a Dawn ×1 activate main once per turn. If your total cost of characters is 5 or more, you can pick up one, flip over your top life, and if it's a supernova character of a cost of 5 or less, you can play it on the field. It's going to be going up against the boogeyman of the format in blue-purple Luffy. This is what I would say is a good matchup, right? If you watched my green-yellow Law video recently on the channel, highly suggest you go check that out. I did a 90-minute masterclass, basically, with the guy who topped a regional with green-yellow Law. We talked a bit about and showcased some example games of this matchup, right? How green-yellow Law can just be so fast against blue-purple Luffy, and all those chip swings, right, of 6,000 power, 6,000 power, 6,000 power, could really overwhelm this deck so fast. Whew! Let's go, Law! Let's go, Law! If Zoro-Sanji makes it to the finals, that'd be insane. I am cheering for Zoro-Sanji right now. Because it's facing the, it's facing the Zoro right now. It's Zoro-Sanji versus Zoro. No, Jordan, Bello Betty has been on the decline in OP12. I don't think Buggy helped, you know, its placement, but it's been on the decline. The Trafalgar Law, keeping the hand, has a couple different searchers. One of them that we've started seeing more and more in OP12, it's that Perona. That Perona is a nice character to find slash characters, which is surprisingly most of your supernova characters of 5 cost or less that you're trying to find. Luffy, another great searcher as well, has the Blocker Law, Restand Law from the starter deck, and also the Beige. The blue-purple Luffy right here has some ramp in the Gear 2 and the Bond Clay, as well as some removal in the God Thread, right? God Thread going to be really good in this matchup, specifically because Trafalgar Law runs 5 cost or less characters for the most part. Also has a Gum Gum Giant and Sanji 2K in hand. And so here we go into the top 4 round. Green-yellow Zoro is going first. The sleeveless Dawn right here is going to play that Luffy first. The Luffy, the best searcher for this deck, and the reason it's so strong, has so many different characters that it can find. Cavendish, such a great one to have in this deck, but is opting for a 2K in the Beige instead, right? The Beige, I believe, not being a slash type character, might be trying to save like a Cavendish grab or something of the sort for the Perona in a future turn. The blue-purple Luffy going into their second turn grabs a 2K off the top of the deck and passes the turn. Not really anything to play on there, just a very typical turn for blue-purple Luffy. The Zoro-Sanji gets a Cavendish off the top of the deck. That's actually a huge grab at this point for the green-yellow Law. Has 3 Dawn to work with and play around with different ideas. You can't get to a cost of 5 to be able to use your leader effect, at least on this turn, but you can maybe set your hand up a little bit. You can also maybe play this Beige blocker on the field, right? That is a 2 cost, could be super beneficial to your game plan. So now here comes the Perona. We can assume also with this Beige on the field that the Kyoshiro is not in. Never mind, I stand corrected. Kyoshiro is in the deck. Playing a couple copies of that X-Drake, right? X-Drake just being a really nice 2K for specific matchups to be able to rest little bodies on the field and try to clear out board, especially ones named Bello Betty, Red Zoro, Silver's Rayleigh of the sort, right? So X-Drake being a great card. The Trafalgar Law now, after that search, grabbing the Koshiro, is going to go ahead and swing 7,000 power, either going to force a 2K or maybe a life at this point. Oh, I need some water after this game, chat. Is just going to 2K out of that to get out of the swing and move on to the 4 Dawn turn. Finding a 9-drop Luffy, that's going to be great once you start getting more and more Dawn, and the Bond Clay is going to be able to help you get to that point, ramping a Dawn and going to 5 overall. And so here we go with the Bond Clay, putting it on the field. It's going to bring an active Dawn right now with that on-play effect, and more than likely attaching this 1 Dawn, swinging 7 at lead. Being a 4-life leader now at this point, going down to 3, is going to grab this life. No trigger on that 1-drop Luffy character, and it's going to pass off the turn with 5 to go. A great play at this point that you can utilize if you're the Trafalgar Law. You can go ahead and play Cavendish and the 2-drop Beige, right? A nice protection effect for a potential God Thread as that Cavendish restands 2. He may be thinking of, at this point, going in and playing the 1-drop Beige, right? The 1-drop Beige would be able to play the 5-drop Trafalgar Law into your life, and then leader effect would be able to shambles out one of your searchers in the hand, and then go in with the Beige right off of the Trafalgar Law's 5-cost blocker leader, or I'm sorry, 5-cost blocker effect. But first, swinging 6,000 power at lead is going to try to bait out another 2K. So you got to be careful as blue-purple Luffy within this matchup, right? Plenty of different options right now to be able to swing in the coming turns. So going to be using that Beige right here. Beige going to be taking this top life and switching it with a 5-cost or less Supernova. Does end up finding a restand Law in the life off of that top. Going to be a great card for this matchup, right? To continue with poke damage. So now with the leader effect, because you have so many different characters on the field, more than 5, is going to pick that 2K back up and play the Trafalgar Law. The Trafalgar Law blocker going to let him pick up a character and play another one from the hand, more than likely either the 2-cost Kyoshiro blocker or the 2-cost Beige blocker. And so Perona looks like is going to be the option right now, maybe valuing the slash a little bit more. And with the on play of that 5-cost Trafalgar Law is actually going with Kyoshiro right now. Kyoshiro, a lot of people are theorizing, is better than Beige in the Trafalgar Law deck because the Kyoshiro, if removal like a God Thread tries to happen, you just rest that Kyoshiro blocker, right, with that ongoing effect it has of protecting 5-cost or less slash type characters. So if Cavendish or Law were to be removed, you could just rest that guy and not move those Cavendish, whereas with Beige forces them to go in the life, and you kind of value the swing a little bit more at this point. Really like this Trafalgar Law start right now. I think he's in a pretty good position at this point. So the Luffy now thinking about swinging 8,000 power at lead, trying to force this Trafalgar Law to go to 1 life in total at this point in the early game. The Bon Clay's also going to be able to copy the 6,000 power Cavendish and Law on the field. And you only have that 1 2K in hand. A lot of 1Ks in counter, but just 1 2K. Does have a 7-cost Law as well. I know some players taking out the 7-cost Secret Rare Trafalgar Law in their list, both in the East and the West, but this player making it in the top 4 at an 8-1 Swiss record is playing at least a couple copies. So is thinking about maybe countering out of this swing. I think if anything, you counter out of the Bon Clay swing if they try to swing it, right? I think you go down to 1 at this point. You do have the 7-cost in your deck. Is going to go ahead and grab a 2-cost Beige. And now the God Thread coming in, going to take out that Kyoshiro, get rid of it right there. No other possible removal effects at this point, and just passes off the turn, says, you know what, I don't want to lose this Bon Clay yet. I know you're going to swing at it, so I'm just going to play it a little patient. I've got you down to 1 life, and we'll see where it goes from here. Grabbing another 2K off the top of the deck is going to be really, really nice. Might go ahead and play that 7-drop Law at this point, because with the 7-drop Law, you could go ahead, cheat out a character onto the field, and with the Cavendish restand effect, you would be able to play that 2-cost Beige to keep protecting these valuable bodies that you have on the field. Might kind of put you in a nice position, especially because that 7-cost Law being a 9,000 power body is going to really force a lot of these different counter events that the blue-purple Luffy has. Chad, I need a haircut. This hair keeps getting in my eyes. I'm not used to long hair. And so is going to go ahead, play that 7-cost Law on the field to put a supernova character into the life, probably one that they can cheat out. Is going to go ahead and opt for that starter deck restand Trafalgar Law, and Arrested Dawn goes to leader. The Cavendish now swinging is going to swing 6,000 power and restand 2 Dawn with his when attacking effect. The blue-purple Luffy going to go ahead and take this first life. Going to be a Katakuri blocker right there, so not a lot of counter in hand. It's going to be curious if he tries to swing with the Trafalgar Law at this point, right? The Trafalgar Law blocker, one of the big things about playing green-yellow Law is you have to know when to be aggressive with your blocker swings on that 5-cost. If you don't think that you're going to lose the game in the turn, it's more beneficial a lot of times to just go ahead and do that poke damage with that 5-cost blocker, and if they try to swing at it, well, he's basically blocking at that point anyways, and if they don't swing at it, you get to restand him and potentially block in a future turn. So, going to be curious if he goes in with the 7. I was going to say he would, 7 with lead, he would probably go swing with the Law, but I think he's going a little bit more passive of the turn, playing that Beige right now onto the field. Ooh, might be going ahead and using the leader effect to go ahead, pick up the Luffy, play down that restand Law that he put in the life to put up Cavendish. Cavendish not having a once per turn scenario on him on his text, can go ahead on this swing after restanding from the starter deck Trafalgar Law that we just got out of life and bring up 2 more Dawn to be able to utilize on leader or maybe the blocker Law. And so the Luffy now taking that next 6,000 power swing and going down to 1 life is maybe thinking about going ahead and attaching the rest of the Dawn to lead and swinging 8,000 power, or maybe going ahead and doing like a 7-7 play. You've got another blocker on the field in the Beige. Wouldn't be worried about dying anytime soon. You've got a couple 2Ks in hand. You've got plenty of counter in general and plenty of searchers as well to be able to find more counter in the next couple turns. Looks like a pretty decent spot, I feel like, for the Trafalgar Law. Nanasen. If you heard Gavin say that on the cast, that means 7,000 power in these swings. Gavin, I think, indicating one of the Japanese officials casters, indicating that maybe the 7-7 would be the best choice. And that's exactly what it looks like he's going with at this point. Is going to go ahead and swing 7,000 power at lead. Is going to force 2Ks out of the hand. Trying to get those Gear 2s. Trying to get those Gum Giants at this point. Or just trying to put the Luffy to 0. So the blue-purple Luffy going to have to fulfill and resolve this first attack. Could have a Gear 2 to just get out of the swing. That's exactly what he's going to do with his one Dawn right here. Going to put him at 9,000 power. You've got one Dawn left. Probably going to use it to swing. We did see in especially the Vegas Regional in the top 32 Law, if you watch that video that I'm once again going to promote, we did see a tech of Vroom in the decks, right, when you're at 1 or less life. But valuing the extra 1,000 power a little more on the swing is going to go ahead, swing 7 and a 2K Sanji, going to get out of it. Now the blue-purple Luffy's turn does have a 4-drop pudding in this top 5 of the deck. Probably going to be grabbing the Usohachi on this search, right, through the leader effect now that he is at 8 Dawn before his Dawn phase or his draw phase. Might go ahead and try to draw the pudding to reset the green-yellow Law's hand in general. Pudding such a good card against the green-yellow Law deck, right, because especially with all the searching that green-yellow Law does, right? Finding these different pieces of the puzzle to get these combos off. The pudding kind of resets everything at that point. So it looks like he's putting it near the top of the deck, but putting it at the bottom, actually. So not wanting any of that stack right now. Kind of going with a blind top of the deck right now. Definitely a risky shot, but maybe a risk you have to take in order to stay competitive in this game. So at a full 10 Dawn, could go ahead with either the 9-drop Luffy or the 8-drop Katakuri at this point. The thing that you have to think about with both of those characters, though, is that Green Yellow Law might be playing the best card in the game that we've talked about this whole tournament, right? One of the best cards in the game, especially in green. Hody Jones or Demonic 9-Sword style, right? Green Yellow Law is notorious for running either of those cards, especially in the end game, and so being able to rest your active Dawn could be detrimental for your game plan. So it really feels like we're coming up towards the end game on this match in terms of these two opponents. A lot could happen very quickly if you're not careful as the blue-purple Luffy or as the green-yellow Law. One thing that we haven't seen from this green-yellow Law yet in the searches, though, is the 5-cost blocker Bonnie. Going to be a real big question if we ever see his deck list. Could be a used card. The blue-purple Luffy starting off with a 9,000 power swing at Cavendish, I believe. Copying that 9,000 power Trafalgar Law that you played out onto the field. Ooh, it's late for me, chat. Trying to do these live. You do have plenty of counter with the Beige. Just 2K would be able to escape out of this Bond Clay attack of 9,000 power, but thinks about blocking instead, and so goes ahead with the block. Kind of interesting going ahead with that Beige block, right now because I don't know, like maybe a God Thread. Do you care about God Thread though at this point? It's not developing a body, right? Especially a 9-cost body. And it looks like 6,000 power 2 liter, just going to be a 2K Capone Beige to get out of that swing. And 8 Dawn coming down, opting for the Katakuri instead of the secret rare Rush Luffy. Passes off the turn right here. 2 Dawn up right now. And so Green Yellow Law going on to now a 9 Dawn turn. The top of his deck. What is it? It's a Zeus. Zeus is something that we started to see at the beginning of OP12 leave a lot of Green Yellow Law lists, right? A very good 2K to be able to get rid of 5-cost or less blockers or pesky bodies on the field at the cost of one of your own life. But just a lot of great cards coming in the Supernova package that a lot of people feel like, well, maybe this card's not worth putting into the deck. And so plenty of offensive aggression. I think Green Yellow Law definitely in the driver's seat at this point, right? You have a bunch of 6,000 power swings that don't have to invest any Dawn in these different Supernova 5-cost characters on the field, as well as a 9-cost Supernova Law just sitting there ready to rock and roll in the deck. You've also got that 1-cost Capone Beige that you can go ahead and put the other 5-cost Trafalgar Law that you have in your life to be able to restand another character. Could be advantageous, especially for this Cavendish, right? Or actually, would Cavendish actually be good at all at this point? I think maybe restanding something like the 5-drop Law could be good, but starts off with the 6,000 power poke, just going to be a 1K out of that one. Still plenty of think about at this point. You don't want to overextend right now as the Green Yellow Law, just simply because, you know, you're at 1 life and rush characters could be coming down on this Blue Purple Luffy. You don't want to lose because you overextend. But first, have to fulfill this 6,000 power swing on the OP01 Blocker Law. Once a heralded $25 card in this game, played in so many different gray decks like the Red-Green Trafalgar Law, is starting to get much more limelight in this Green-Yellow Law deck that came out in OP10. On this swing, though, is going to go ahead and block there, not revealing any more information at this point. So kind of ignoring this Bon Clay at this point. Maybe trying to see if he can go for game right now. Ends up swinging 10,000 power at lead. I really like this 10,000 power at this point, just simply because it forces more than just a Gum Gum Giant, right? As a 6,000 power leader, Blue Purple Luffy getting gear 2, or I'm sorry, the Gum Gum Giant, the other 1-cost event in purple that's very, very good in Blue Purple Luffy. The Gum Gum Giant would get you to 10, but you have to commit another card on top of that. So ends up taking the life instead, another 1K Bon Clay. You might be able to get the win at this point if you... What are you searching for off the Perona if you get it? Are you trying to find another blocker Law at this point? Perona coming in right now is going to be searching that top 5. Accidentally flips a card. Just an honest mistake at this point. Does find a 7-cost Law, so maybe just going in with the 7-cost Law at this point to be able to kind of slow the game down a little bit, just do a little bit more poking, right, and be able to still stay at 1 life. Probably a pretty good position for this Trafalgar Law, if I had to say. Definitely a good find off of that, but a scary, risky find, I feel like, to get off of that search. I guess, yeah, actually, yeah, Sup, you're right. Using the Dawn to restand, if you use the Perona and maybe the Luffy search, you do get 2 Dawn that you can utilize off the Cavendish to be able to basically make those effects for free. So really thinking about this Trafalgar Law, I think probably Trafalgar Law, yeah, the best play that you can make at this point. just being able to heal a life, right? Put that in the top. But the real question is, what do you grab? Do you maybe like pick up? I feel like right now, if you use your leader effect, you pick up your other 5-cost starter deck law, right? You kind of cycle these like additional swings that you can utilize within the game. Yeah, I think kind of explaining to the judge, I think maybe the judge got confused on how much Dawn he had at the start and things like that. I think he should, yeah, he should have all of his Dawn tapped, right? Yeah, because he did the Perona to start. And so right now, trying to fulfill this moment in the game, is going to use this Cavendish to swing 6,000 power, do a little bit of poke damage, and be able to restand 2 Dawn at rested. 2 Dawn at rested? That doesn't make sense, Jake. Is going to swing this at Bon Clay, though, so maybe he says, you know what, Bon Clay might be the reason that I lose this game, so I need to get rid of that attack on the field as I restand 2 Dawn. Yeah, I think I really like the idea at this point of picking back up your 5-cost starter deck 03 Trafalgar Law that restands different characters, simply because if you do that, you kind of get this like cycle of like, okay, I'm going to get an additional swing every single turn, right? I'm just going to keep cycling these guys out. I'm just going to continue poking you. It's almost going to be like a 6th swing in a sense. Definitely in the driver's seat at this point, I think. So with the 2 Dawn, I think attaching it to leader and swinging 8 is fine. It forces the gear 2, at least. It forces either the Gear 2 or the 2K 1K, but I think the Gear 2 probably more beneficial because if you restand like Cavendish or something, there's also an opportunity potentially if you restand Cavendish, right, on the green, yellow, or the 5-cost law in the life, that you get another 2 Dawn back, and so you could actually swing 10K at lead after like another 6 with the second Cavendish swing. But looks like just passing off the turn says, you know what, I don't need that restand law right now, just letting him know that I kind of have it at this point. So maybe just trying to go, maybe just trying to guarantee that he's not going to lose, although he has so much counter in hand. The Gravity Blade in the top 5 for the blue-purple Luffy, actually going to be a really beneficial card at this point, right? Gravity Blade, especially with no protection effects of the Capone Beige or anything of the sort. Tashigi 3 costs as well from Punk Hazard OP10. Could be nice to be able to get rid of something like Cavendish and Blocker Law to really minimize the amount of bodies that he's going to have on the field. Ooh, Raven, thanks for putting the pudding in there. We'll look at that here in a sec. I'll look at that after this match. The blue-purple Luffy grabbing the blocker Nami might try to go into a situation that we saw earlier in this tournament to where he just tries to play the blockers and just tries to mitigate, you know, as much as possible. Could just be a nice 1K as well. Finds a Thunder Bagua, which is much more enticing, right, to play that Nami. You've got Gear 2. You've got Thunder Bagua. You're going to need some Dawn up to be able to get some protection within this game. But is being passive in that and being more conservative going to lead you to a winning game plan, right? Can you get rid of these bodies? Can you knock him down on life? I'm not sure if it's worth it. 5 minutes left within this game. Is going to go ahead and play the Nami, maybe trying to look for, I don't know what he could be trying to look for in here besides counter, right? Finds a Katakuri and 9-drop Linlin that we knew was there because we put everything on the top, right? So ends up putting those two cards at the bottom of the deck. Does not need that 9-drop Linlin anymore. Has 5 Dawn left open. Lots of counter in the 2 Uso Hachis, the Bon Clay 1K, as well as that 5-drop Nami 1K, and Thunder Bagua and Gear 2. You always swing the 8-cost Katakuri, right? The 8-cost Katakuri being able to remove bodies. Asking how many cards in hand at 9 or 8, 7, 7. Final answer. Grassdog, if you go to our Discord, link in the description, we have an automatic post that is when cards get revealed, that new reveals happen. And so that 8,000 power swing, taking that life, that's that restand law that we talked about earlier, ends up swinging now 8,000 power again at lead. And so now this 8,000, I actually like this 8,000 power swing. You could go for this right now. Or maybe you could actually 2K out of it. If you 2K out of it, you leave 1 life in there to be able to get the beige effect to get that restand law that you have in your hand. Could actually be beneficial to keep this life on the docket, right? And just swing out like crazy within this next turn. Really just try to go for lethal at this point. And so uses 2K and 2 1Ks, right, to go to 9,000 power. And the Luffy passing off the turn, restanding the Katakuri. And so now at a full 10 Dawn, we're going to see Green Yellow Law really go all in on this play. I'm excited to see this one. No draw potential, right, because there's no Gear 2s in hand or anything like that. But a couple blockers and a couple Dawns, so we'll see how the math can work at this point. We do see an interesting card that we haven't seen too many times in the Trafalgar Law decks, right? It is that X-Drake from the Bonnie starter deck. Newly legal in these tournaments. That X-Drake, a 5-cost Supernova / type character on play. If your leader's Supernova, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active at the end of the turn. If you wanted, you could go really aggressive and rest that Nami, right? If you feel confident that with the 1 Dawn, you switch the life with the X-Drake, right? And then play it out later. Could be an advantageous play, right? That's 1 more block that you don't have to worry about. And you can restand that Dawn with the Cavendish swing. And so ends up starting to swing first instead. Is going to go 6,000 power at lead. Is just going to be a 1K Bon Clay right here on the first swing. Still 10 Dawn to go. Sitting with 9,000 power characters right here. Yeah, like, what is better? Zeus pop the Nami or X-Drake rest the Nami? I think probably X-Drake resting the Nami is better. Well, you got rid of Zeus earlier. I think probably X-Drake is he going to hard play X-Drake? No way. He's going to do 1 for the beige. Phew, I was going to say you do not spend 5 Dawn for that play. Is going to go ahead and grab that life. What is it? He's going for restand law, actually. It's a demonic 9-sword style. Oh my gosh, this guy's got the game right here, right? He has to have the game grabbing that off the last life. Can go ahead and play this card to rest 2 blockers or Dawn at this point. 4 Dawn being rested. Gonna rest both of these blockers, and now it's just him and these 3 Dawn that he's got to work with. This is his game in the bag right now. This is his game, right? This has to be. is going to start off 6,000 power leader at lead. Is just going to be a nice 1K with the Nami. The final 1K in here and the 6,000 power on this Trafalgar Law is going to be a 2K. I think he can he get out of this? He might be. No, he won't be able to get out of this, I think. What is this judge doing? Oh, they're in overtime right now. So the green-yellow law is in overtime. If you check out Cribs, my last YouTube video that I posted, I did a 90-minute video of Trafalgar Law of a guy who topped the Las Vegas Regional with Trafalgar Law. And in there, we had a big layout of matchups, and we went over a lot of the bad matchups, the good matchups, etc. if you want to go check that out. I'll pull it up later as well. So Cavendish swinging 10,000 power now at this point, and restanding 2 Dawn is just going to be a Gear 2 and the Uso Hachi there. And with the leader effect is going to go in to play the Trafalgar Law and restand the Cavendish. Go ahead, swing another 10,000 power, and the Thunder Bagua right is going to go ahead, not be enough to win the game, and green-yellow law making it to the finals. That's my deck, ladies and gentlemen, making it to the finals. Actually a really good match, and showcases why green-yellow law has a really good matchup into blue-purple, right? Being able to cycle all those bodies, being able to cycle all that done, get the value off the Cavendish, just went so long and was so valuable in the long stages of that game. Oh yeah, 100% Cribs. I think I also put chapters in that video. I should have put chapters in that video. It should be in the description at least if it doesn't automatically show up. The chapters, I know I have one of the chapters where we talk specifically about the matchups if you want to scooch over to there. Yo, what's up, HGBot? We're talking more about PRB, more PRB reveals. Yeah, the event Out of Life was huge. That, I think he probably had a really good spot to win the game otherwise, but it was awesome. I know, Niblo. I want it to be Zoro-Sanji versus Green-Yellow Law. Insane. All right, they're showing Dawn chat. They're showing the Dawn. Who's left to play? So the other match that's going on right now is the OP12 Green Zoro and the starter deck Zoro-Sanji. That's the other top 4 match. Chat, do you want to look at the Dawn or do you want to look at the reveals? Which one? Hey, thank you so much for lurking, my friend. I appreciate it, Etchy. Hope you're having a good day. Chat, if you've been lurking as well, because we are going to hit the finals soon of this championship. I appreciate everybody watching and following along in this tournament. We do live stream all of these Japan tournaments now, so if you know a Japan tournament is coming, make sure to tune into the stream. I try my best in the casting and hanging out with you guys in between the matches, but make sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, and also like on YouTube as well. Big help. There should be only one round left, Reels. Only one round left. The finals. The Dawn? Okay, we'll stay on the Dawn. If you want, they did a lot of reveals recently for new unique PRB 02 cards on the stream. They showed some off. If you want some of the translations in our official Discord server, you can go check that out. I've got an automatic pop-up that translates those or posts the translations of newly revealed One Piece cards. And so you can go check that out. Link is in the description below. I know the Bonnie, all the Dawn in PRB just looks so good. So, Petster, the Zoro-Sanji was the top 16 game, if you want to rewind in the VOD or whatever. It was the top 16 game, but we know that it was in the top 4. Oh, what is this? I tried like listening in and try to find keywords. I think it's a new promo card. I think a new promo card is going to be revealed on the 7th, which is Sunday night on the West Coast. Gold Caesar Dawn for $10 each. I know that Katadon is crazy. The Zoro, I think they just said the Zoro-Sanji won, chat. Did they just say that Zoro-Sanji won? Oh, it could be a leader reveal on the 7th. Chat, who wins? Green Yellow Law or Zoro-Sanji? It's a new leader. It's a new leader. Oh, thank you, chat. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Silly Goofy. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Sup. Oh, it's a new leader in Shonen Jump. I thought I heard Shonen Jump, but I didn't see the Shonen Jump logo, so I didn't want to spread misinformation. Come on, Zoro-Sanji. Come on, Zoro-Sanji. I'm a little sad that Lucci wasn't in there too, but like Lucci's had a good amount of limelight in the last, couple tournaments, so I can't be too mad. You can't hit him every time. It's a pretty diverse meta. Sometimes it's just you don't have it. Shoo! Is it a promo leader or PRBO2? I think it's a promo leader. Usually the Shonen Jump cards are just promo leaders. I think usually the only like reprinted leaders are the ones that have like the little figure on them. I forget what they're called. Nice, Niblo. I can't wait to see the list on Twitter. Chad, I will post, especially if the... What these Japan championships do, Chad, if you do not know, is they always post the first and second place lists. So, we know that they're going to post the green, yellow law list. So, if the Zoro-Sanji makes it in the finals and guarantees first or second, I will post the lists in the Discord as soon as I see them do it, or when I wake up in the morning, one of the two. Yo, what's up, Remo? No, this is starter deck legal. Chat, this is also, for anyone who does not know, because this is not information that I think most people would know without me telling them. This tournament is the first weekend legal, the first Japan tournament legal with starter deck 23 through 28. So this is OP12 legal with the starter deck. So this is really good. This is the same format that we're going to play in Dallas for the last chance qualifier and also nationals if you qualified for that. So going to be very good. How crazy would it be if Zoro-Sanji was in finals? What the heck? I will do unspeakable things. Chad, do you guys like my hat? Be honest. Be honest. Do you like my hat? Dallas is September 19th through the 21st. Chad, also, one thing that I'm going to do, a couple of you said that there was advertisements during the match in the last round. I'm going to run advertisements right now on both Twitch and YouTube to prevent advertisements happening in the finals. So I will be right back. And if you're subscribed or a member of the channel, You're not gonna get an advertisement right here. I did get the promo Dodgers cards, Remo. I just got one for me, but I got it. I need to pull up Discord back on this side. Oh yeah, they put a ton of reveals in the Discord. Oh, nice. YouTube Premium. I've thought about getting YouTube Premium. I've thought about it. Okay, chat, it's matches time. It is Zoro-Sanji. It's in the finals, chat. It is Zoro-Sanji versus Green Yellow Law in the finals. What an insane day. Chat, I can't believe we stayed up for this. This absolutely crazy match. Zoro-Sanji with that Dawn ×1 when attacking once per turn. You can pick up one of your 2 cost or less characters on the field, and if you do, you can restand a character on your field of 7,000 power or less. Proved to be very strong earlier in the top 16 round. Facing off against Green Yellow Law, another kind of aggressive deck in this game. It's going to be interesting to see which aggro deck comes out on top within this one. You know, the Supernova package, or maybe this kind of like East Blue Fishman package that we've got going on with the Zoro-Sanji. Who's going first? They haven't done the rock, paper, scissors yet at this point, chat. Oh, man, Zoro-Sanji. This is going to be crazy, chat. Who says the Japanese don't cook? Who says that they're bad deck builders, chat? Who says that Japan is full of bad deck builders? I like that they're both reading each other's leader. This is so funny. I can write it off as a tax write-off. That's true. That's so good. Also, can we talk about how the leader is also not sleeved? But it looks like the Green Yellow Law going first in this one. I do like the Green Yellow Law going first. Cavendish is getting reprinted. Cavendish and Bonclay both reprinted. Also the EBO1 Shirahoshi chat. Tell your friends. And then tell them about my stream. Okay, Green Yellow Law going first. I like Green Yellow Law going first. But going second, the Zoro-Sanji could use the 2-cost Nami Searcher first. So maybe they're fine going even. Oh, but Green Yellow Law mulliganing. You don't like to see that. Both players opting for the mulligan. But yes, both the Cavendish, Brook, Bonclay, and also the EBO1 Shirahoshi. Yeah, they're all being reprinted, confirmed in PRBO2. I know! It's kind of crazy, actually. Somebody tell Richie. I'm going to text him right now. I had to text my friend. Yeah, it's insane. I love all the confirmations that they have. It's going to be so good for the game and getting people and keeping people in the game. Yeah, the EBO2 Luffy was like really surprising for me to see that be reprinted. All right, chat. Life is going out. Here it is. It's the finals. Zoro-Sanji versus Green Yellow Law. The finals that nobody predicted. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody predicted this finals. And if they say they did, they're a liar, right? I don't know what I would have said would won today, though. I probably would have said, like, Blue Purple Luffy. Looking at this green-yellow law hand, has a pretty decent hand, I think, to start, especially after a mulligan hand. Has a couple different searchers with the 1-drop Luffy and the 2-drop Kid and Killer, but also has some good 2Ks in the Zeus, Capone Beige, and the 5-cost Restand Law. The Zoro-Sanji has a pretty decent hand, I feel like, right? You've got a couple searchers in the Namis as well in the early game. You've got the Dracula Mihawk Vivi combo, right, to be able to draw cards, fill up the hand a little bit with some pieces of the puzzle and maybe a little bit of poke damage in the coming turns. Honestly, it doesn't look like a bad hand from either side. It looks like we're going to have a pretty fair game overall. I would say maybe advantage in the hand a little bit is the green-yellow law, especially going first. But starting off is going to play that 1-drop Supernova Searcher Luffy. Yo, what's going on, Turtle? The 5-drop, or the 1-drop, going to look for a couple different 5-drops. You see a Cavendish right there, as well as a 5-drop Trafalgar Law blocker. Going to be 2 cards that are very important, and probably the 2 key cards that you're looking for. Cavendish going to be the option. Excellent grab off of this. Can't be mad. Eustace Captain Kidd also being in this list is a really interesting note on top of that. I'm really curious about this green-yellow law build, to be honest. Passes off the turn to the Zoro-Sanji, going to 2 Dawn. Right on the 2 Dawn, plenty of options in the Namis. Easily a search option, right? Looks at that top 5 and finds an East Blue type card. This deck comprising in the East Blue category, lots of different Fishman Pirates type cards, but finds a 4-cost Zoro. The 4-cost Zoro is actually going to be really nice potentially in the next turn. That's that EBO2 4-cost Zoro that rests a 4-cost or less character and then has the ability to swing into characters on the turn that it's played. Could actually be really nice in this specific matchup because with Trafalgar Law, they need to have a total cost of characters of 5 or more. If you go in and get rid of one of these pesky searchers that the Trafalgar Law has, that puts them one step farther and maybe one turn farther away from being able to use leader effect, right? And especially if you get rid of the searchers, that means they can't pick them back up and reutilize them. So actually a really cool tech in this matchup. The Kid Killer now going to be played for this green-yellow law. Going to be looking at the top 5 for a Supernova. Going to be really nice on that on opponent's attack if they have that one of room tech in the deck. But on this Supernova search, has a couple different options. Could grab a 2K in that Beige, but has plenty of 1K options. 2 costs in the Kid Killer and the other Capone Beige, right? Kid Killer being able to grab itself, or maybe grabbing the 5-cost Restand Trafalgar Law. Kind of thinking about right now the 2-cost Beige at this point. Yeah, I think if they played Kid like a Red Rock would probably be what happens, right? And if you played Red Rock, you would have to have the Tashigi on field, right? And I don't think he plays Tashigi. He's going to have to find something. Is going to grab that 5-cost starter deck O2 Law, right? A great option for the aggression, right, that you can put in this game. Has 1 Dawn left at this point. Is just going to swing 6,000 power lead. Going to try to force a 2K out of hand. Maybe take a life. And it looks like taking a life is going to be what happens at this point. Is going to grab another 3-cost Vivian. So on this draw, going to 8 cards in hand. Could go ahead and play this Dracula Mihawk and Vivi combo to go down to 6 cards in hand and draw more off of the effect of Vivi, right? Because Vivi draws if you have 6 or less in hand and you're a multicolored leader. We see the Smoker in there. Smoker, a great card to play in the coming turns. But first, the Dracul Mihawk coming in, and the Zoro actually coming in sideways. Still going to be able to rest one of the Law's characters, and maybe this is just a better play at this point, right? Like I mentioned, just trying to get rid of these bodies on the field. And so now a 2,000 power swing going to go at the Kid Killer is going to go ahead, use the when attacking, or I mean on opponent's attack effect, right, to restand a Dawn. Same effect basically as taking the knockout. And so on that swing right here, this is actually a really cool combo. I didn't think about this. On this restand right here of the when attacking, he's going to pick up the Nami and restand the Zoro. So now the green yellow Law can't go ahead and swing at that 4-cost Zoro that was played on the field through the Dracul Mihawk. I will post the Zoro-Sanji list in the Discord. Yeah, they always post the deck list after the tournament ends, and they always post the first and second place list. So I will post both of those in the Discord when I see them. Cavendish does come down now for the green-yellow Law on this 5 Dawn turn. Restands 2 Dawn. Is going to go ahead and play the Beige. Beige is going to be able to set up his life to be able to play a good character out onto the field. Looks like the restand Law is going to be the option. Definitely, honestly, at this point, I feel like not a great... I mean, it's a fine start. It's a good start at this point, but I would much rather have the blocker Law right now coming off of this instead of the restand Law. Now swings 6,000 power at lead. Has a couple different options in the hand in the future turns, like that 7-cost Law that we talked about, the secret rare that was so good in the last top 4 round. So you got to think right here, is it worth giving up a 2K right now? If you give up a 2K right now, you can maybe... I don't think you play the Vivi at all, though. Is just going to go ahead, use that 2K coming out of OP12. Use the leader effect to pick up the Capone Beige because they have more than 5 costs and play out that Law. Now, you don't get to restand anything on the Law's effect, but you get to put a 2K back in hand. You get that body on the field, right, to match the aggression that this Zoro-Sanji is going to bring, especially now on a 6-Dawn turn when the 5-drop Smoker could come down onto the field. It's going to start out with a 5K poke right here. Is thinking about pitching the Perona at this point. Says, you know what, I got the Luffy on the field. If I use leader effect, I might just be picking up this Luffy, right, and being able to reutilize that. And I can grab most everything that I want from the Luffy in comparison to the Perona, which maybe whiffs 1 or 2 more cards that maybe you want to utilize. And so now the Zoro-Sanji looking at what they want to do with the rest of this turn. Might be one of those things where you attach... There's no way he would pick up one of these characters, right? He is going to pick up the Dracul Mihawk. Maybe go in with the Dracul Mihawk? What could he do with the Dracul Mihawk? He could go and play the Vivi. He could go play the Nami. No, I don't think he can play Nami. But it's just going to be a 2K on the 6,000 power swing. And now, again, once more, a poke of 5,000. These 5,000 pokes from restanding off the Zoro-Sanji effect, putting in so much work within this tournament and within this game is going to prompt potentially a 2K on this Zeus to be able to not go down to 1 life so quickly. This is a fascinating matchup and a fascinating game, chat. Oh, he could play the Cavendish with the Mihawk. That might actually be what he's doing. You might be right about that, Cola TCG. Going ahead with that Dracul Mihawk, and just like YouTube chat was saying, playing out that Cavendish. That Cavendish is going to be very nice, right, for the next turn when it gets to swing, because with that next turn, you're going to be able to draw 2, trash 1, do a little bit of filtering and drawing, and then with the rest of the 2, plays the Nami. The Nami finding East Blue cards, find some 2Ks in the Hachan, right, as well as maybe the Zoro. Does these... No, I don't think you can grab the Zoro. But he grabs the Hachan anyways, right? Nice 2K body to be able to protect some of these characters. This Zoro, this Cavendish, right? So finding another 7-drop Law. On your 7 Dawn turn, being able to have the 7-drop Law might be in a situation where he needs to think about leaving Dawn up for these different counter events, right? He might need to go in at these bodies to try to get this pressure off the field, right? These different pokes. He doesn't have the blockers that he can typically utilize in the Kyoshiro, the Capone Beige, right, in this game, the 5-drop Trafalgar Law. So you've got to be able to resist somehow within this. Yo, what's up, Lazarifications? And so now at 6,000 power, where is that going, though? Going at that Zoro right there, so it is going to prompt that Hachan 2K if he wants to give that up. I feel like you give up the Hachan 2K, right? You just revealed it, but no, lets it go. Maybe he just values the Cavendish a little bit more. And here comes the 7-cost Law. 7-cost Law, a great card within this deck. Being able to put a 5-cost or less Supernova, or actually just puts any Supernova, right? Puts any Supernova into the life, typically being a 5-cost to cheat out with the leader effect. And so this now the Rested Dawn goes to the leader, is going to be able with Cavendish to restand Dawn and potentially do it twice using leader effect to restand the Cavendish. Might also try to utilize that 1-drop Luffy searcher, right, as well with some of the restood Dawn. Starts out 6,000 power swing and restands to Dawn. Think deciding if he, it looks like going at life, maybe ignoring the Cavendish now. Should you swing at the Cavendish, though? Takes that life, goes down to 2, getting another 2K in the hand with the Hachan. Now uses the leader effect to be able to pick that Luffy up, reveal that Law, play it down on the field, and restand the Cavendish to get that extra value. One of the reasons why this combo is so strong within this game right now, right? Just being able to restand Cavendish and be able to utilize that absolutely broken effect. That's why players in our YouTube chat, like right, our live stream, Twitch and YouTube chat, were cheering when Cavendish got revealed for the reprint. It's just such a good card, and it's definitely going down in price as we speak, more than likely. Swinging now on this second swing with Cavendish at 7,000 power, I think is going at lead once again, just increasing the power a little bit at a time. Is going to go down to 1, definitely a risky one, I feel like. And Vanderdecken is in the hand, has plenty of options to be able to discard a Fishman card off the Vanderdecken, right, and KO one of these characters. Is going to attach 1 Dawn onto the Law and swing 7,000 power yet again. Leaves only 2 cards in hand, 1 for the Luffy, maybe 1 for the Asura, 9-sword style. Looks like swinging 7 at the Cavendish. Is he swinging 7 at the Cavendish? No, he must have been swinging at lead. I thought they said Cavendish, but ends up being a 2K, 1K combo to get out on the 8. The Luffy going to be able to maybe find a, or I'm sorry, he had way more than 2 cards in hand. He had 4 before that Luffy search. Does find a 2K X-Drake, but also finds a 5-cost Trafalgar Law that you can potentially play within the next turn. Is thinking about that Capone Beige. Capone Beige, maybe one of the better of the options of the 2Ks, right? Instead of that X-Drake, just simply because if you top deck or maybe get off of life a 5-cost Supernova character, you would be able then to be able to use that effect to be able to cheat it out. Yo, what up, Raleigh? I'm gonna need some Funky Rooster coffee here soon. And so now passing it off to the Zoro-Sanji Moving into an 8 Dawn turn. The Smoker's still sitting in hand as we didn't opt to play it in the last turn. Vanderdecken may come down. We could see Vanderdecken. We've got one Fishman Pirate card in the hand in the Hachan. But the thing is, it's our only 2K in hand. So how bad do we want it, right? Is it worth giving up that 1 2K? I will agree with Grass Dog in the chat. I think Trafalgar Law kind of stabilizing with that 7-drop Law and being able to find, you know, another 2K, finding multiple 9-sword style Asoras, right? You're going to be able to get out of these swings. Apologies for the hiccup. And starting off with a 6,000 power swing is going to be a draw 2 trash 1. Just filtering the hand says, you know what, Smoker, not going to be able to be utilized within this matchup. I'm just going to get rid of it. It's a non-counter card. I drew 2 counter cards. Those are just more valuable at this point. And so still have to get out of this 7,000 power swing. Maybe asking like how many cards are in hand at this point. It looks like 8 cards in total. Ends up taking the first life. It's a 1-drop Luffy. The 1-drop Luffy may be nice. You may be able to go ahead and grab a 5-cost character to be able to play. Yeah, I will say, especially with these 7-cost laws, the long-term game looking much more favorable, especially with a board state that looks like this, right? Trafalgar Law having 4 6,000 power or higher characters on the field, while Zoro-Sanji just has 1. Now that 1 can swing twice in the Cavendish, but it's still looking a little rough. You may have a lot of cards in hand and a lot of counter, but that counter can dwindle very, very fast in this game. Definitely a difficult situation, I feel like, if you're the Zoro-Sanji. Making it to finals is crazy, by the way. You gotta imagine that probably playing a Kyoshiro at this point, right? At least 1 blocker. May even think about playing 2. As you've got all 4 in hand. Attaches 3 to the Zoro-Sanji leader and goes in, swings, picks up the Nami, restands the Cavendish. Is going at leader. Hasen leader, 8,000 power lead. I think Zoro-Sanji can technically go for lethal at this point. It's just with the 1 Dawn up and still 1 life left with 5 cards. You're not loving your chances at this point. Ends up starting out with the 9-sword style demonic. It is 3,000 power, so you do have to give up the Searcher Luffy as well at this point. And still 2 swings to go. Now, no Dawn left. He could potentially go for game, right? If you attach 3, you could swing 7, 8 at this point. 3 to the Dracul Mihawk, swing 7, and then attach 2 to the Cavendish and swing 8 and hope that he doesn't have enough counter anyways? Let's see if he sees it at this point. Obviously, the player on the Zoro-Sanji doesn't know the hand like we know the hand. This is the same math right here. I think he is going to go 7 and 8. I think he is going to go 7 and 8. Oh my gosh, chat. He might just win here. Zoro-Sanji might just win. If he gets a 2K, he wins. It's nothing. Is he going to do it? No, he's going to go passive. Okay, but he's playing 2 blockers, though. So he's got... He's got 2 Kyoshiros down onto the field, and he has so much counter in hand, right? He's got 1 2K and a whole bunch of 1Ks, right? grabs a 5 cost off of life. Oh my goodness. I don't think that was a bad play by the Zoro-Sanji, let's be honest. Because with the different cards in hand and having plenty of different searchers, you're kind of just like, you have a bad feeling when they are that confident, right? And so uses the Demonic 9 Sword style event to rest all those blockers. Cavendish going to be able to restand 2 of those Dawn back. Now goes ahead. Is he going to swing 7 or 8 at this point? Definitely tough. I mean, you see the first Asura, 9 Sword style Demon Asura, and you're like, there's no way he has the second. And then he just goes in and has the second. Because, Chad, you got to think about, he doesn't have the knowledge of the hand like we do. I don't think it was a terrible play. It obviously wasn't the best play, right? But with the knowledge that he had, I don't think it was. I can see how he goes there, and I think that's a pretty reasonable play. But the thing about the green-yellow law, he still has to get this math correct on this turn. Is going to use Cavendish, right, to swing 8,000 power and restand 2 Dawn. 5 active Dawn left in this turn for 3-4 characters as well as the leader. Now with an 8,000 power swing, it kind of puts this blue-green Zoro-Sanji in an awkward position because you don't have 2 2Ks, so ends up taking the life. What is it? It's a Dracula Mihawk, which is a 2K, which is really nice. Is going to go ahead, play down that Trafalgar Law to restand the Cavendish. Swing the Cavendish yet again to restand 2 Dawn. Is going to be 2K, 2K to get out of it. Just simple pokes now at this point. 9,000 power. And it looks like green-yellow law is going to be... Wait, is he going to be the champion? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's going to be the champion. Green-yellow law is going to be the champion. Getting out of it with 10,000 power, 5 1Ks, and the 7,000 power swing is going to get into this best of 1 championship. Green-yellow law becoming the champion of this match. Definitely a thrilling one, and one that could have been absolutely crazy. The Zoro-Sanji did definitely have an out to be able to claim that win, right? But, you know, that's kind of what happens sometimes. Sometimes you take the 50-50 gamble, right? And you lose that 50-50 gamble. Choo! Yeah, just best of 1. Definitely a great run, though, and really shows the strength of this deck, right? Really shows the strength of the Zoro-Sanji. Shoo. Hazy plays, Lucky Tom, Stale Cereal, that's a great name. And Basti, thank you so much for following over on Twitch. I super appreciate it. Well, no, Marks Z, in Japan, green yellow laws are not running Hody Jones, right? Because you got the Kyoshiro blocker, because you got Demonic 9 Sword style. I mean, Demonic 9 Sword style, right? Yeah, that's a card. Yeah, I mean, that was an insane finale. Because he had a lot of counter on the field. And still at 1 life. And so I think the biggest thing and the biggest reason why he played passive was because the green-yellow law player used the Demonic 9 Sword style event for counter, right? As a counter event. So it's like I was saying, like, it's one of those cards that they're playing like 2 of, right? They're playing 1, maybe 2 of. I've seen plenty of lists that only play 1 of that event card, right? I've seen plenty of lists play 2 of that event card. And so you're looking at the list, you know, you see some different options, and maybe like you see you know, your friends talking about the other stream match that he had, and they're like, we only saw one demonic 9-sword style event in that game, right? He's probably running on the assumption that he's only got one, right? Maybe in his deck. And if he's got two in his deck, he probably doesn't have the other one, right? He probably just only has that one because he didn't search for it at all, right? He pitched the Perona earlier in the game. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Perona is the only card that can find that event. So if they haven't played a Perona yet and haven't done any searching, you're like, he probably doesn't have the second one. So I think that's kind of what he was going for at that point. I would have to like run the math and like really look at this to see like, okay, he's got like these cards in hand and he pulls a 2K out of life as well. So like with these swings, can he still get the appropriate amount of math to be able to go through? Because if in this board state, he can still at, what was it, 9 Dawn? Yeah, like a 9 Dawn. If at 9 Dawn, he can still get through and still hit lethal with the cards that you have in hand. Because like what? The zero cost event is probably like the best thing that you can pull off of it, right? But a 2K is, I mean, just as good pretty much. If it can still go through, then it's definitely a misplay, right? It's definitely a misplay to not just go all in. But I think with the cards that he had in hand, he was feeling confident enough with the knowledge that he had that, like, there's no way he has the second one, right? Like, just in his hand like that. But, I don't know. I mean, he made the finals with this extremely rogue deck, right? So he's a genius in my book. He's also playing on a stage in front of, how many people are watching this right now? There's 4,000 people watching this. And then there's like another 500 at least watching us. Yo, what up, Danny? How are you doing? So there's a lot of pressure at that point. There's a lot of pressure in this, and you know, he flipped he made the 50-50 choice, and he just ended up making the wrong choice. Happens to everybody in any sort of level at any sort of game. You know, I've had that plenty of times in my time in card games for the last 7 or so years. It just happens. Just happens. You got to learn from it. You gotta do better next time, right? All right, that's my soapbox on that. That's my soapbox on that. I'm sure he was like talking to where like, I don't know Japanese, but I'm sure he's talking about right now how he like could have gone for it or something. Pretty crazy. But chat, it is 3 a.m. for me. It is 3 a.m. for me, and I have to open the card shop at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I have to open the card shop, Tier 1 cards, Tier 1 Las Vegas. Link in the description below if you want singles to our card shop. I have to open the shop at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so in 6 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed the PRB02 reveals chat, if you missed the PRB02 reveals, the trailer of everything, they showed so many reprinted cards. They showed new cards as well. In our Discord server, chat. Where is our Discord server? In our Discord server, we've got a channel in Discord that automatically translates and posts any newly revealed card that gets in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord over on Twitch, you do !Discord, or on YouTube, you can click the link in the description below. Thank you again so much for watching, chat. I had so much fun in this tournament. This tournament was so cool. Easily the best one that we've seen in a long time, I feel like. Had so many fun things with inside of it, and I'm so glad that you were here with me. Have a great rest of the night, chat, or in the morning if you if it's morning for you, right? I know some of you it's the morning, you're starting your day. Thank you again so much. Super appreciate it. This was a great stream. I will be posting these videos. If you missed the rounds, you can go check out the VOD. you know, just rewind a little bit, or I will be posting the different matches and putting the cards on screen because I don't have a great system yet where I put cards on screen during the live stream. But anyways, thank you again so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, Joe, for being here. I will post the list in Discord as well after the stream. I will post the list in Discord, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, I'll see you later, chat. I got to go to bed.